I love the fact that he's getting set up on PalWorld before he comes to talk to us.
Welcome back to the PalWorld podcast.
Hold on. I gotta bring you guys to the right audio devices. I'm doing this before the chat yells at me, because they are.
PalWorld podcast.
I didn't say that. It's just been on for days because my guys are farming. I'm not actually playing it currently. But they can't hear you.
Sure.
No, they can't hear you.
Can you hear us?
Is it you?
Testing? Testing?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay.
Everybody else cannot.
Why can't they?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Because they're not there yet. Is there anybody there? Hi, everybody.
Hi,
you
everyone.
Can't hear me, but hello.
Okay, there we go. Now they can hear you.
Now they can
Whenever
hear
they
us.
decide to come. Yeah. Infant
Cool.
camera. Everything's all fedonkled. Why is everything fedonkled?
You press buttons and twiddled switches.
No, the camera resets every time you shut OBS. And it's done that forever, and I don't know why.
Oh my god, Respawn.
What?
How amazing is PalWorld?
Are we actually talking about it, or are you trolling me?
The only news this week is PalWorld. Respawn. We're a PalWorld podcast.
No,
well,
we're not.
I'm aware, but I
No.
didn't think you would let us talk about
We're
it.
not. I'm trolling you just so that I can get to the point of rolling the titles.
Okay, well, no, go ahead and roll the titles, dude. I wasn't going to bring it up. I know better than that. I know other games are not allowed.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Night Demon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So welcome to the show this week.
Yeah.
We have a Respawn that's in and out of the show this week. Breakfast runs and things going on. And
Indeed.
Peroty, who's always here with me. When he's not, he's not.
Yeah.
But
Except
I'm
for when
here.
I'm not.
And I'm Night Demon. So welcome to the PalWorld podcast. You've got 5 minutes because I know you two are probably desperate to talk about this because
No.
it's
Do
Pokemon
you
related.
play Parody?
Of course I play. We talked. Yeah, I played. I mean, I haven't.
You two
I
have been
haven't.
talking about it this week.
I
in the
haven't.
chat.
I haven't played it
Well,
this
I
week.
thought he was doing it to troll everybody too. I didn't know
No.
he was actually playing.
No. Hey, the game is free on Game Pass. I'm at least going to take a flyer on it. I can get a $0.00 investment and see if this is any good. Yeah, I'm going to try it at least. And then I'm going to go tell everyone else about it. And the entire world is also on board with this plan.
So yeah,
I'm
looking to restart myself, honestly, and I'm looking to join a server, somebody's server, if anybody's hosting a server, because I've already beaten the game. I've gotten all the things. I've bred all the dudes. I've got almost all the super combos that I want.
Can we clear this up?
I've got all the stuff. So
you've beaten the beta version.
Okay,
it's early access.
Sure. Yes.
You bring it for now.
Yeah.
Wait until the PvP comes.
I'm not deleting this character. No, absolutely not. I'm just looking to start over and play with people instead of by myself, because Micah and I very quickly realized that when you don't host a server, like a dedicated server, when somebody leaves with your stuff, they leave with your stuff.
Yeah. You're basically at the mercy of the host. So whoever the host is, like, the
host is at the mercy with whoever joins, because Micah was the host, and he gave me Pokemon and weapons and things like that, so I can get started. Because he was pretty advanced, pals.
No, he didn't give you Pokemon,
pals. So he was pretty advanced, so he gave me stuff to help me catch up. And when it was time for me to leave, I left his server so I could leave him alone. Turns out all the stuff that was on me stayed on me. I'm like, whoops.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I wish I could do for the Xbox. Set up a server on the PC sitting in my house. Let me host a dedicated server so I can play on the Xbox. No. The dedicated server to work on PC. I mean, maybe, again, it's still early access, so maybe it's coming down the road one day. But just listening to any of the, again, like I haven't read a lot of stuff about PalWorld this week because the entire world is talking about it.
Oh yeah.
But I've seen people talking about clips of the development, because all of the this was made by AI and they ripped off Pokemon. It's like, no, they absolutely did not.
No,
they've admitted that they have.
Parody.
Listen,
They absolutely use creative licensing with that as the base. Let's not fool ourselves, okay?
Well,
100%.
I mean, how many Pokemon on there? How many creatures could you build at this point that don't look like a Pokemon? Let's be honest here. But seeing some of the translated interviews from the CEO, it's basically like, we didn't know how to do any of this. We found a guy working at a convenience store that happened to have the skill set we needed, so we hired that dude to help us do this piece and that piece. Like, this feels like because these are the guys who made Craftopia that I played briefly, I think a couple of years back, which was sort of the same like sort of open world crafting survival-y thing.
Yeah,
it really feels like they're just throwing things against a wall and seeing what sticks.
Agreed.
And this stuck. All of this stuck, and now they're like, I mean, I think I read something that was like they were like, two guys in a trench coat building a game. It was like, there's 15 of us or something, some small number or something like that. And then they're going like, we need people. We have like one infrastructure engineer, and now everyone is playing our game, and our poor one engineer is drowning in work. So,
yeah. So, and the thing is like, I mean, with everything, actually, especially based on everything that you're saying, the fact that it's doing as well as it is outrageous, man. Because like, it's such a popular game, and everybody's playing it except Night Demon, and it's just so good, And
you've got 2.5 minutes left to talk about this.
Okay, and it's just a survival game. There's plenty of survival games out there that people play, and that's all this is. Except for you also have Pokemon helping you, like, and they have gimmicks. Like, for example, these 4 guys right here, these Daydreams. If you have them in your party, they're out at all times. Look at this. There's 4 dudes following me at all times.
Yeah, I'm so looking at you. I'm not looking at you.
It's a cooperative game you can play solo.
It's crazy.
You don't need a friend to play cooperatively. They just hang out with you and help you for the fun of it.
Yeah.
See, my kids have got it already sorted. They've already got their server. They're all playing on it. All 5 of them. Even the 6-year-old. They've wrote the 6-year-old.
Have a dedicated server?
My daughter's sorted. My eldest daughter sorted out like servers, and they're all playing together on the one server. And I think they've even invited. I don't know what's happening. I pay no attention to it. All I hear is PalWorld this, PalWorld that, and I go, well, if you're talking about it, Respawn's talking about it because he's on your level as well.
I was not going to come in here talking about it. I did know better than that. I was not going to come in here talking about it.
No, but I think to give it its due, it is the buzzword of the moment, and every other podcast that I've listened to about Destiny have talked about PalWorld for a good 45 to an hour long about PalWorld and how amazing it is. So give it its due.
As long as you're waiting for the next step of Destiny to come out, if you're looking to waste time, this is a supreme waster of time.
Play Destiny.
Just waiting for things to incubate or waiting for things to craft or just there's so much time in this game when you're waiting.
No, but I do that anyway. I do that anyway. My kids got me back into playing Pokemon with them to help them do gym stuff. Now, Peroty every day sends me a gift, and I have to send him a gift back. So I'm like, well, now when I go to work,
I'm sending you gifts because you're sending me gifts. It's just like sending an email. You're sending an email to get a response. So I wake up and I say, "Oh, Night Demon UK has sent me a gift. I should send him one back." So you're perpetuating this. So you can stop anytime you want.
They needed help.
That's true.
They needed help because they wanted to take down a gym, because we've got a gym literally outside our house. It's literally, if you sit in our front room, you can attack this gym. So they've permanently got this gym. Anybody that steps foot in this gym is out within 10 seconds because they're constantly on watch of, so-and-so's Pokemon. But they needed my help to take down the gym to start off with. So now they rule the gym, and that's it. We sit in the front room. Like last night, I got a sudden message from one of them going, the gym's been taken down. Somebody's attacking it. So we all then had to jump on. And as they're trying to feed their Pokemon berries, we were like attacking it. So like, no, this is our gym. Go away. Move on to the next. So
no, we literally and figuratively live here.
Yes.
Whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with Night Demon family on the UK.
Yeah. I mean,
let's get into taking out their command one by one.
I got a text from my daughter. I got a text from my daughter at college to say that the gym had been taken down, and if I was at home, I needed to go back and retake the gym. I'm like, this is what it's now come to. I'm playing Destiny, and I'm now playing Pokemon to receive gifts and back up my children in fights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Now we've got your PalWorld talk out of the way. We can actually go to the Destiny podcast that we kind of started so many years ago with
Yes.
This Week in Destiny, or the TWAB, for the 25th of January 2024.
I know what people are going to be mad about on the internet.
Do you?
Yeah,
Did you know that what they were going to be mad about before we even got there?
Wait, people still talking about Destiny? Yes, we do.
I understood what they were going to be mad about the moment I even glimpsed at this week's topics. Like Riven's wishes arriving on Tuesday, your Moments of Triumph 2023 award. Terrible shirt, by the way. Hate it. There's a community sword challenge. Winning Wizard Festival, all the lost sets. We know Respawn. We know who won. The Game to Give live stream continues, breaking all the records. Competitive PvP weekly rewards and Iron Banner returns. By the way, Iron Banner's here, so if you're hearing this just now, you missed it, so wait until the next one.
Yeah, I forgot to tell people last week in the show because it wasn't in the TWAB, but I hopefully did tell people because if they listened to the whole of last week's show, it is in the 3-minute quick breakdown of what is happening the week ahead. So, yeah. Which I could kind of drop in here so that people know. I know we've just started the TWAB, but I could drop it in here, so we're already ahead.
You can do anything you
Or
want.
maybe I could do it after. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it after.
TWAB and I'll do what I want to. Want to. No?
This Week in Destiny.
Oh.
This is your weekly rundown of Season 23, Week 10, Season of the Wish. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Rio Silvia, and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken Enemies and the Plague Inamina. The Ascendant challenge this week will be Ouroboros, which can be located over in the Fillion's Rest Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian and the Wandering Nightmare, Jax, Claws of Ziva Wrath, are both located at the Hellmouth. Nightmare hunts Skolas, Pride, Omnigul, Anguish, and Zydron Servitude. On Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Dares of Eternity legendary rounds are Hive, Fallen, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 1. Arsenic Bite 4B, Blast Batu, Corsair's Wrath, Deafening Whisper, Dire Promise, Enigma's Draw, Escape Velocity, Giant 7 Rifle, Friction Fire, Royal Chase, True Prophecy, and Timeline's Vertex. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ritual, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Pact. The Lightfall weekly mission is No Time Left, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex incursion this week will be Liming Harbour. The Korota's End Raid challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Korota, Son of Oryx, called All for One. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Cataclysm, called Illuminated Torment. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, The Caretaker, called Base Information. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 4th encounter, Sanctified Mind, called 0 to 100. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, Shirochi, called Witch Witch. Your pinnacle raid will be the Deep Zone Crypt over on Europa, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter, with the exotic rocket launcher Eyes of Tomorrow being farmable from the final boss. The pinnacle dungeon will be the Pit of Heresy over on the Moon, and the exotic mission rotator will be Operation Seraph's Shield, with the Revision Zero exotic pulse rifle being the main reward. The Season of the Ceres weapon set, and Ikelos weapon set, with the Warmind's Avatar armor set. This week's challenges are Night Ahamkara Hunt, Throne World Activities, Last Rites, Most Dangerous Prey, Momentum Crash, Bank Kill Repeat, and Calibrate Long Range. Lost Sectors Tuesday Scavenger's Den on the EDZ for exotic gauntlets, Wednesday Skydock 4 on the EDZ for exotic chests, Thursday The Quarry on the EDZ for exotic helmets, Friday Aphelions Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic boots, Saturday Badround Wishes on the Dreaming City for exotic gauntlets, Sunday Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City for exotic chests, and Monday Petition on Europa for exotic helmets. Also, this week's weapon rotation will start on set 4 on Tuesday's reset. Our 10th featured Nightfall will see us face off against Grask in the reprised Lake of Shadows over on the EDZ, with the Undercurrent Grenade Launcher being the featured weapon. The 6v6 control node should feature Control, with the possibility of being Sparrow Control, Momentum Control in the Party Relentless playlist, Showdown in the 3v3 playlist, 3v3 Checkmate Clash in Crucible Labs, and Trials of Osiris at the weekend, with bonus Crucible ranks available all week long. Also, kicking off this week, we have Riven's Wishes and Moments of Triumph 2023. And that's it for the 10th week of Season of the Wish. Riven's wishes. We've got wishes.
So Riven's gone. How are we getting these wishes?
Riven's not gone. She's just taken.
She's made arrangements with Morosov. You know, like when you have a funeral.
Out through the portal.
When you have a funeral, if you're planning a funeral, you kind of write down various different things. You know, what songs you want people to kind of listen to, what things you want people to say, and
like a will.
Yeah, a bit like that. So she's kind of made arrangements with Morosov to ensure that we are rewarded. I don't know why she's rewarding us, but she is going to know.
Because she likes us, guardian mine. Come on now.
Oh,
so we brought her some eggs for breakfast.
That's
we
why.
May have
yes.
killed her twice, but she respects us, and that's important.
So the question is, because we fulfilled her final request, she's left us a series of challenges, and that will reward our heroic deeds each week. But the question I've got is, do you need to have fulfilled her wishes first? So do you need to have done the whole story on that character before you can do the wishes, or can you bypass that and go, well, this character hasn't done the wishes, or hasn't done Riven stuff at all, but I want to do the wishes? I know you two can't answer this
to find out.
Yeah, I know you two can't actually answer this, but I was just kind of throwing it out there.
Yeah, because you go visit Morosov and pick up a token to do these wishes, there's at least a chance that you won't have to have completed the story. Whether the tokens are available or not is on Bungie, but at least it's not, hey, at the end of the story, you'll get a new storyline that starts. So theoretically, go to vendor, pick up token, complete wish, receive weapon.
Yeah. So starting on January 30th, players can visit Morosov in the Helm, I'm guessing in the Helm, to accept a weekly quest with a high-risk objective in the Dreaming City, such as completing legendary lost sectors or dungeons. And upon the completion of these weekly objectives, players can return to Mara to receive a wish token. Each week, you can use this token to choose from a prize of one of the 3 different categories. So we don't know whether you get
category.
One from each category, or just one category and it's a random thing from that category, or you get to pick from that category. So let us run through these bad boys. Category 1, we have the Last Wish Resonance, which means you can choose a red-bordered Last Wish raid weapon. We have the Supremacy Sniper Rifle, the Transfiguration Scout Rifle, the Apex Predator Rocket Launcher, the Chattering Bone Pulse Rifle, the Nation of Beasts Hand Cannon, the Techian Force Fusion Rifle, Tyranny of Heaven Bow, and the Age-Old Bond Auto Rifle. Now, before you get too excited, Category 2, we have Exotics. You can choose a piece of Lightfall Year exotic armor, so you don't have to run legendary lost sectors, bang your head against the wall, complete the task, go to Mara, give her the token, and she can say, yes, you can have for your hunter the Speedloader Slacks, Ceterachne's Facade, the Triton Vice, or the Mothkeeper's Wraps. For your Titan, you can have the Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap, the Abeyant Leap, the Arbor Warden, or the Pyrogale Gauntlets. And for your Warlocks, the Ballador's Wrath Weavers, the Swarmers, the Cenotaph Mask, or the Briarbinds. But it doesn't stop there. We have a third category of Miscellaneous, or Miscellaneally. That's that's how the internet kind of tells me it's pronounced. Miscellaneally? That word.
I think you're thinking of shillelaghs.
I'm thinking it's just miscellaneous stuff, the stuff that you may have missed out over the year, or you just want extra stuff of. So
it's trinkets. It's all trinkets.
If you've missed out on the Lost Memento or the Dawning Memento, so the Lost Memento is the black memento that you can apply to your crafted weapons. The Dawning one is the blue icy one, and Ascendant Shards, Ascendant Alloys, or Exotic Ciphers, and they have a lovely picture in the TWAB for you to kind of look at if you're not sure what any of that is. So yeah, you can pick from any one of those. How excited are you about this?
So I've got 6 weeks of these to do. How many red bordered Last Wish weapons do I need to collect for
5 of each. So if you've got none, you need to get 5 red borders of one weapon to unlock it. But
So
the other question...
So do I want Chattering Bone or Age-Old Bond? That's the only question in my mind. I feel like the Chattering Bone is what I want.
Yes.
But the Age-Old Bond is very good too.
Now, does this break down to one account each week for 6 weeks to get one token? Or if you've got 3 characters, can you do this on all 3 characters and get 18 tokens in total over the 6 weeks. Now they do say that don't worry, if you haven't got the next 6 weeks set aside to do this, you will have up until the final shape releases to do these things. So you'll only get 6 of them. But is it 6, 12, and 18?
Time limited. Okay, so yeah, so you have so there are 6 things to do. You don't need to do them in these 6 weeks.
No,
just you have to do them between now and final shape.
Yes.
Okay, well that I'm happier about.
But they will release one each week for you to kind of do your ritual stuff and come back each week and play it and get a token. But is it 1 token per account or 1 token per character? Because if it's 1 token per character, that's a little bit more interesting. Because I may be up for that. But I'm kind of I wanted to kind of put this to you guys. Red bordered Last Wish raid weapons. Now, these kind of came out a couple of seasons back, and there is a quest from Hawthorne to go and finish like the Last Wish raid, and then you can go and farm the red bordered weapons in the Last Wish. And I totally understand that people that don't want to do raiding, can't do raiding, and just for whatever other reason to do with the raids, won't get these red bordered weapons. And it is a good way of kind of giving people access to these weapons. But I'm not 100% sure that I agree with it. And I'm saying this as a person that can do raids, hasn't done the Last Wish raid, and hasn't got any of the red bordered weapons. And I know Blue Screen, who I play with during the week, has gone in there and done a little bit of farming and got some of these. And you may be at the point, where you've got like 3 or 4 out of them and you have done some of the raids and you just need that extra one and you just haven't been able to kind of do it. Good avenue for it, kind of thing. But I'm not sure I'm totally in agreement that giving raid weapons, the red bordered raid weapons, as rewards for this are a good idea, because it kind of lessens the fact that people have put time and effort into actually playing the raids. This kind of goes back to that old way that we used to do Destiny 2 with the clans. Now, if a clan did a raid, clan did trials, clan did this, clan did that. I know it's kind of been stripped back now. You kind of get Gambit, Crucible, and Vanguard engrams from Hawthorne if you are in a clan, and that will give you that specific reward. But it used to be that you could go and pick up a trials one, and it would give you a chance at getting a trials weapon or trials armor, and not even have to have played trials. And there was a lot of kind of kickback from the community about this. And some of the people in the clan that just couldn't get into trials, couldn't play trials, or didn't want to play trials, this was a good avenue for them to get. And Bungie took it away, saying, we actually do agree with the majority of the community and say, look, we'll give you a better way to go and play trials to get these weapons and armor and things. So it was kind of taken away from us. But then on the other hand, they're now doing the same kind of thing with these tokens. I'm not sure I'm in agreement with it. And the same with the exotics. The whole idea that they imprinted on us was you can only get Lightfall year exotics from doing specific events like the Legendary Lost Sectors or the Master Lost Sectors or the Vex Incursion. Those were the only kind of 3 that you were kind of guaranteed you had to go and play to get these. Now, if you do a Legendary Lost Sector as part of the quest each week, you will have a chance to maybe get one of these to drop for your character. But why waste a token on doing these when you could go and do a Legendary Lost Sector without the token and get a possibility? Because if you don't already own these, they will drop. The other caveat that I've just kind of thought of to this is, do you need to own Lightfall, any of the expansions, to get any of these exotics? Because they haven't kind of preferenced that in here. Normally, you have to own the expansion or whatchamacallit.
You need to own the content the exotic came from.
Yes.
That's how it's always worked. So I'm assuming that's how it'll work. But yeah, it would have been nice to say you need to own the thing where this comes from.
Yeah. So I don't see the reason why. I mean, I do see the reason why. It's kind of trying to get people to kind of. But if you're doing a Legendary Lost Sector to get a token, surely it's best to do a Legendary Lost Sector to do it solo to get one of these. And I know some people might not be able to do them solo, and maybe this works as a fire team. You could just work as a fire team, go through the Legendary Lost Sector, go through the dungeon, get a token, and bish bash bosh, you've got a chance of getting these. And then once they're finally up, but the raid weapons, I mean, Respawn, come on, you must be with me on this. Somebody that constantly does raids.
So Win Noble had a point, right? Like, I understand to give you a raid weapon, right? So you can get the pulse rifle or the scout or whatever, the weapon, right? But a red border should be reserved for that activity, I think, as well as the exotic. But I think we all know that eventually even those exotics will be easier to get, which I might be speaking this into existence, but it's probably going to happen, right? So I think
it kind of did happen, didn't it? When they take the raid out of the game, they had to put the exotics in the kiosk in the tower. They didn't go, let's create another avenue for you to get the exotics.
You still have to do raids to get that. So I'm not upset about that, right? Because you still have to go into a raid to get the raid tokens to buy those weapons. I'm okay with that, right? But to just go into like a legendary lost sector and get a currency that'll let you buy a raid weapon, that's not okay. That's not the same level of difficulty, in my opinion, you know? Or the same level of commitment. Maybe commitment's a better word, right? Because for some people raids are easy, but it's not the same level of commitment to get that same reward, you know? You go into a raid.
I think it just opens the floodgates, doesn't it? For like, well, if you're doing it for the last wish, why can't you do it for the other raids? Why can't we do this for, just give us some tokens?
It will.
That's I think that's the problem. I know they're going, this raid's been around for X amount of years. The red borders have only been around for like a couple of seasons, as far as I remember. It only kind of started at the beginning of this kind of expansion. And it's like that they're there in the raid to make people go and do the raids. And if you can't do the raids, that's not Bungie's fault. It's not anybody's fault, apart from that you can't go and do the raids. And I think Bungie are kind of pandering to. They don't need to pander to people, because if they didn't do this and people really wanted those weapons, they would find a way to go and do it. Now that we've got the Fireteam Finder, there's a little bit more kind of help for people to go in there and do these raids. I don't think we needed this as kind of rewards.
Yeah, and when Noble's all like, you don't even need to do the raid, you can go and grab a chest and get a token. Yes, Noble, you can do that, but that'll take time, and you can only do that once a week, right? Whereas a raid, you can do repeatedly to get tokens repeatedly. Now, the thing that I am going to complain about regarding this is that even when you do the raid, the entire raid, even then, you only have enough currency to buy one red bordered weapon. Not enough currency. I'm sorry. You can have all the currency in the world. You can still only buy one red border weapon that week. Right?
So it kind of lessens doing the raid as well. It's kind of putting that raid into like, you don't do it.
It makes the raid less valuable just in general. Because if I can go here and I can get this currency from doing a lost sector and buy as many red borders as I want, why would I do a raid? Especially
not as many as you want.
If you've already got the raid exotic. You know what I'm saying? If you've already got the raid exotic and you can do this, there's no point in going back in the raid unless you're trying to get like a god roll, like you're doing the raid on master difficulty to get the god roll adept weapons. But even then, last couple seasons, adept weapons are just like, I personally enjoy them, but a lot of people have brought to my attention that they're really not as powerful as what they were when they came out. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like, yeah, so even then, doing the master to get an adept still isn't equivalent to just getting the red border that you can craft and do whatever the hell you want. Because the adept weapon, yes, it'll give you more stats in every category if you masterwork it, right? But overall, an extra, 2, 4, 6, 8 stats spread out across the weapons stat bar is not going to make up for having to do a master difficulty raid when I can go.
No, but these aren't kind of master difficulty. This is kind of just doing the raid kind of thing to get these weapons and then possibilities of red borders. But when it's the featured raid, you can just, as far as I'm aware, you can just farm Kali, which is the first boss, over and over and over and over again, with chance to get any of these red bordered weapons to drop. And that's what people have been doing. So I don't see, and it gets people's foot in the door to do raids. But I mean, I've said my thing, you've said your thing. What about you, Peroty?
This raid came out in the year of our destiny 2018. If you were going to get the weapons, you would have gotten the weapons by now.
Yes, but the red borders are only something that has been included in the last year.
Doing the raid, can you focus a red border? Or do you just get whatever drops? And I'm asking because I do not know.
You get whatever drops, but
just that. You can get whatever drop, and if you're lucky, you can get a red border. But for every weapon that you've been lucky enough to get dropped, doesn't have to be a red border, just any weapon that you've gotten dropped from a chest, and sometimes you get nothing but in a raid, but whatever. At the end of the raid, you have currency, and you can purchase one red border of a weapon that you've acquired thus far.
Yeah, one guaranteed. Yeah,
And then it goes away for the week. And next week, you can get another red border. Now, you can buy as many rolls of that weapon as you want, but you can only get the one red border for that week, for that raid, for that character.
So is this a path to completing red borders that you have some of, but not enough of?
Yeah.
For people that have some red borders.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's going to be, I'm going to go unlock a single raid weapon and never look back.
Yeah.
I appreciate the mementos being there, because some people may look at those weapons going, those are ancient weapons, why would I care? But I only got one or none of the, black mementos or the frosty mementos. I like that the mementos are there. I appreciate that they put those, gave us a path to do that. But I mean, Last Wish has been around forever. And I knew as soon as I heard, oh, you can get a raid weapon for not raiding, everyone would start screaming about it, because they did it the hard way. Back in their day, they did, and it was tough.
No, but the
Back
thing
in
is
that day, we would do raids uphill both ways in the snow with no shoes on.
Bungie made it like this. Bungie, when they took away the trials engrams, and they kind of chastised people, well, they didn't chastise. They made it like, you'll have to go and actually play the activity to go and get these things. And it was like, well, why do that? You've done it for so long. Why have we now kind of got this?
Because they need to shove something in this giant gap where they're bleeding people left and right to maybe bring people back. And that's a pretty good carrot on the end of a stick. Now, would I look at that? Is that enough to bring me back or get me excited? No. Did I look at any of that going, ooh, I could get these weapons? No, none of those are exciting. None of those are meta. None of those are top tier. Like, oh my God, I'm going to fall all over myself for them. But it's at least something better than going, well, here's some exotics you've already got 50 of. I'm honestly a little impressed they put a decent carrot on the end of that stick. Because when I heard they were throwing these wishes together at the last minute, it's like, this is going to be nothing. This is going to be some dumb thing, and they're going to go, oh, well, you can get more engrams for the season, or something silly. So I appreciate there's something decent there. And again, if you're, so whether it's one character or three, at worst or best case scenario, depending how you look at it, you can unlock 3 of these raid weapons, or one of these raid weapons, depending on what you have. Again, if you're going into this with 0 red borders, you can have between 1 and 3 of these weapons unlocked. Whether it's character based or account based, these wish tokens. So I mean, it's not going to move the needle. And yeah, going in and doing things is always more satisfying. But if you haven't since 2018 and the red borders coming back hasn't gotten you in there yet, it gives you a path to these weapons that you can then try to figure out where you're going to put in your vault.
I do understand that. But do we think that initially, because the wishes were part of this season, do we think that they were going to just be like mementos, ascendant shards, ascendant alloys, and exotic ciphers? And then they've gone, oh, well, we need to give a little bit more incentive. So we'll throw the exotics in there, and we'll throw these red bordered weapons in there to entice people to come back.
Were they part of the season, or was that the thing they added because we now have a massively long season?
No, apparently it was taken out of, I think from the data leaks, they found that it was meant to be part of the season, but because the season got extended, they thought we'll tack these on at the end. So it looks like we've kind of got X, Y, and Z as well.
Okay, so this was planned, just...
Yeah, what was the reward
just
for
not
the plan?
now.
Yeah, okay.
We should have already kind of done these. It should have been because people were saying
more sense.
I think you were even saying that we've only got like the coil and Riven's layer kind of to do. This was meant to be the other thing that we were doing, so to kind of make the season look quite bulky.
Right. Yeah,
which would have made sense.
Because right now you have one activity that you can run in two different ways, but it's the same activity you're doing.
Yeah.
Which just felt weird for the last season of Destiny.
I hate when people say that because it's so frustrating that it's true.
Right.
I'm not debating that it's not true, but when you say it, when you speak it into existence, it's so infuriating.
Last season TM. I mean, there is more Destiny, but it's your last named season being released until they do something else.
But they had 2 activities in the same season that do the same thing from a different route, man.
Look, let me put it to you, right? So, working at Bungie, and I come to you with this idea of these things. I've got a better idea. Why
Mhm.
don't we give people the chance to have their own red borders? So instead of, if it is going to be only 6 tokens that we can get across the whole character, or across the whole account, why not give people another chance to get the deep sight harmonizers to put on their own weapons? So if they've gone and got a raid weapon and it's not a red border, you do have the ability to put those deep sight harmonizers onto the raid weapon or any other weapon that drops that says that it will take it to create their own red border. I think that would have enticed people, because they could have gone, well, if I do this raid and I get this weapon to drop, but I've run out of deep sight harmonizers, but if I go and do the Riven's Wishes, I get a chance at getting the deep sight harmonizer or picking a deep sight harmonizer to put onto the weapon to create it myself. Would that not have been a better idea? And I'm going to top it even further. Why not throw in some bright dust in there?
What?
So if you've got all your raid weapons, you've got all the different things that you kind of want to do. I tell you what, we'll trade you that token for some bright dust. Doesn't have to be huge, but just some bright dust, maybe like 1,000 bright dust, so you could actually go and purchase something.
Huge, 1,000 bright dust? That's kind of big, dude. Right?
No,
that's like a weekly completion, my dude.
You think?
Yeah,
you think bright dust?
A weekly completion for this whole raid token? Yeah, bright dust is the icing on top.
Whole thing? Oh, okay.
Bright dust is the icing on top of the cake. Bright dust is not the reward. If you were going to offer me bright dust, I'd go, yeah, that's nice, but that is not the thing.
Well, like you get a choice. You could either choose a deep sight harmonizer to use each week to put on the weapons, or you can have some bright dust, or you can have a memento, or you can have ascendant shard, ascendant alloy, exotic ciphers. There's a plethora of things that we could, maybe an Eververse engram. Maybe we're going to get something from it, or a couple of engrams, a box of engrams, just something that isn't something that isn't throwing red bordered last wish raid weapons at people. They should have done the deep sight harmonizers to give people the choice, and I guarantee you that would have got more people more excited to come and play the game than what it is for the red. I understand you may want to round out your kind of collection if you've been doing the last wish, but if you've been doing the last wish, then you've been in there and you've got some of the weapons, and you can go back in there and get some of the weapons to get, even if you go and do the solo chests, because you can go in there, shoot the Riven's wall, go in and collect a couple of those chests, and you do have a chance to get those weapons to drop with or without a red border. So if you get those to drop with or without a red border, you can then put the deep sight harmonizer in there. Bish bash bosh, you've got your weapon if you've kind of been lucky enough.
So the thing I wanted to add to this is it's kind of like what you guys are talking about, right? So Destiny, I love Destiny. I'm not gonna lie, right? It's a love-hate relationship, and it goes both ways. But like I almost feel like an abused spouse in a domestic disturbance relationship, right? Because they've gotten us so used to having such little reason for coming into the game that they offer something like this thinking it's going to bring people back. They're like, oh, well, if we give them this, they're totally going to come back. Okay, fine. But what if, hear me out, you actually did your jobs and took the time to make content that people actually want, and that content will bring them back. Not little treats here and there. I mean, Peroty said the carrot at the end of a stick, but I don't even see it's a carrot. It's like a celery or like a date, meaning the fruit, not a woman.
Tiny box of raisins.
Or tiny box of raisins, right? An old toothbrush, whatever, right? So, yeah, and then we're just so used to that any little thing they think, oh, this is going to bring the community back. Or, let people take their time in a lull of Destiny, because Destiny's going to have lulls. It's a living game, right? It's going to evolve. You got your Guild Wars 1, your Guild Wars 2, you got your WoW, you got your Arc Evolved, you have your Destiny 2. These are all games that have been going for a long time. And yes, they're going to have lulls in the game, right? Let the lull happen, right? You don't have to have people playing 24/7. I know you want to. I know it brings income. Fair enough. But if you took the time to create good quality content, that content will be what brings people back. And you'll most likely bring even more people back. Micah, who's been playing the game for a long time, has actually legit uninstalled the game. And we had somebody from our guild in the chat when Micah was talking about it. And he's like, dude, you really did? I was like, I told you he did. You didn't believe me? But no, he actually did, because he's tired of Destiny taking the fun away. This is supposed to be, in his opinion, this is his, not mine. This is a first-person shooter with space magic, right? You have abilities, and slowly but surely, Destiny is removing those abilities over time. But I try to counteract by saying, yeah, but Destiny made those same abilities overpowered in PvP all the time. So that's, again, both ways, love, hate. But, for PvE content, you're recycling content, right? That's what this is. This season's event is just recycled content in a new package, right? It's still just old Riven content. That's all it is. You have new weapons, okay, but these weapons this season have been lackluster. I don't even have them all, And every season up until now, I've done the best I could to get every red border pattern for every weapon that I could get my hands on, as often as I could, except for this season. The season just did not entice me, And it's because it's just recycled. I've done the Riven thing before. What else do you have? You have this huge universe, this huge storyline, right? Why not take us out of the city for once? Why can't next season we go into like the Shen Malphur storyline, for example, right? It's like, hey, you've heard of Shen Malphur. Do you want to know what happened to him? What events occurred that led up to what happened to him happening? I'm not going to spoil anything for you lore nuts out there, but look into it. It's a good story, right? What if they brought that in as a season content? It's completely out of the realm of anything we've done so far. Give us Shen Malphur content, or let us go back and find out what happened to the Iron Lords pre-Siva, the first time everything just hit the fan, right? Give us some pre-seasons. Give us some story content that actually fits in with the lore, because it's a beautiful lore universe. I mean, the game was fun, but the lore is great. And if you based your content on some of the lore that we already know about, that will probably bring a lot of people back, especially if they're lore nerds, right? And if they're not, at least it's something brand new that we haven't seen yet, instead of just staying in our current timeline, in the current tower, doing the same things we've already been doing. I mean, I feel like we are stuck in the Riven curse right now, right? Riven's curse is stuck for every 7 days they reset. For us, it's every season we get something that happened in a previous season however long ago, So we're stuck in our own kind of Riven's curse. So be new, be unique, give us something you haven't done before. I know it's a lot to ask. I'm not jaded about this. It is a lot to ask, but at the same time, if you took the time to make something new, that instead of giving us crap that we don't really care about just to keep people engaged, and take that resource, those people, that time, those programmers, and do something that is actually going to be good. That's what's going to bring people back to your game. That's what's going to keep people engaged. Not recycling old content and giving us lackluster rewards. I'm sorry. I know I've been ranting for a while, but it's just, come on, man. It's just, this is why the game feels salty. This is why PalWorld, as what it is, so many people are drawn to it. Almost everybody on our server I see playing PalWorld. Why are Destiny players playing this? Because it's a good game. Because it's something new. Destiny, give us something new. Bring people back to the game, Give us a storyline that we haven't heard before, or something out of lore, or whatever. Just stop recycling content, man. You're I don't know. I can't even finish my sentence because I'm flustered right now. But I'm trying not to rage because the mic cuts out, and we've heard complaints about how they like the rages and some people don't like the rages. So I'm trying to find a middle ground here, right? But the point is it's upsetting. You're wasting time when you could be using this time, these resources, and these people better suited to give something that people actually want instead of this nonsense. And I'm done. I'm sorry.
I just want to pour one out for, hey, remember when we hired this person that directed these movies and TV shows, and we were going to get a Destiny story and some other way that wasn't the game itself, movie, TV, comic, something?
Yeah.
Respawn's point, so many good stories. You've got a decade of storytelling and lore and interesting characters that I don't believe we're ever going to see on any kind of screen, big, small, or otherwise. But it sure would be nice.
And I mean, just come on. Think about your favorite hero, right? We kind of dipped into Saint 14, right? But what if we were actually there when stuff hit the fan? When he actually, because there were Guardians back there when Saint 14 got trapped. What if we were those Guardians? What if we could go back? And I know we kind of did something like that. And technically, that's recycled content. So maybe that's not a great example, right? But what other Titans that are out there? What if we went back whenever Zavala was, and his wife and kid died? What if we were there? What if we were some of the Guardians that were there when that happened? What if we got to see that storyline actually play out instead of just hearing his wife talk about it or watching a hand-drawn cutscene of it? Whatever. You could do that for Hunters one season, for Warlocks the next season, for Titans the next season. You have the Vanguard that, even though we know their backstory, I mean, just think about if we would go into Cade's backstory with as confusing as his backstory is. He doesn't even know if Ace is real. He thinks Ace is a child that he once upon a time had, but he also thinks that it's just a past version of Cade making up the story of a child and a wife so that the next version of Cade has a reason to love on and has a reason to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be a hell of a storyline to actually get into instead of just hearing audio logs, What happened to Cade? How did Cade become that way? How did Shin Malphur become that way? How did just whatever? I know I'm repeating myself, but it's just the whole universe we could be using, and this is what they're doing. And they wonder why people we need to bring people back in. Do something to deserve it. Stop giving us lackluster rewards and expecting it to be enough, because it's rapidly not becoming enough. Devs, and I know you laid off a bunch of people, and I know things are harder for you now than ever, supposedly, but my dudes, if you want people to be engaged, you have to do something to engage them. You can't just throw candy out and be like, ooh, piece of candy. No, we want more than candy. We want stuff. We want actual rewards. We want something that tickles our not funny bones, but tickles our giblets. Whatever you want to say. I don't know how to finish that sentence, but the point is, deserve it, dude. Just deserve it. And I'm done. I'm really done for all this time.
I think the problem is the manpower, and what you're asking for is kind of story content, whereas the recyclable content and playing like the Riven's Wishes and the Coil over and over and over again should be the repetitive things, a bit like Crucible and Gambit. They should be the kind of the pillars, as Bungie kind of said it. Those should be the kind of focuses to keep people playing the game on and off during the kind of the lulls of the down parts of the season. And I think that's the problem, is that there's nothing there for people to kind of play, which is why they go off and play their Power Worlds. If they've done everything to what they want to kind of do, they'll go off and play other games. Whereas I know I'm 100% with Destiny, because there is always something that I can do in Destiny. There's always an emblem or a challenge or a triumph that I can kind of get done, because I haven't been able to do everything 100%. So Destiny is the game that kind of I kind of focus on.
But you're happy with the smaller things like that, though. You like the grind. You like getting an emblem, but a lot of people don't. People like me. I want something more than an emblem. I want a reward. I want a gun. I want armor. I want a storyline. Keep me engaged. Guns are fine and everything, but give me reason to be engaged in the storyline too.
We've spoken about the raid weapons to quite an extent. What about the exotics that they're kind of offering up for this season? So if you've got Lightfall, are you happy that they can just go and do whatever and get a token to get them, or do you see this as a kind of a waste of time, basically? Because if you go and do the legendary Lost Sector or Master Lost Sector, I know you have a chance, and sometimes you can. Some people have played up to like 16, 20.
You don't even need to do that anymore, though.
The next version
is going to give you a guaranteed one you don't even have. But that's not even a moot point anymore, Because I'm not even going to lie about how long I flaked on the fact that the Vex Incursion will give you an exotic that you don't have. But yeah, it will. You can go into a Lost Sector and have a chance of doing it, or you can join a Discord that has a Vex Incursion bot, and you do the Vex Incursion, and you get an exotic that you don't have. Flat out, So even that has lost some of its meaning, Or the coil. Yeah, I didn't know that about the coil either. Yeah, the coil, you can get an exotic you don't have too. But the coil takes a long time. Coil takes like an hour. Vex Incursion would probably be the faster way to do that. Coil Legend? Oh, posh, that nonsense.
Exotics are meaningless. There's so many, and there's so many routes to them. If you care enough about one to go get it, it's something you can do and you don't have to rely on other players for. Like there's enough routes to getting these exotics. And I mean, looking over the Titan ones, there's one I might care about in that list, 2 maybe, the other 2 and the Warlock is, I mean, the Warlock, I don't remember exactly what all the newer ones do, but it seems like a good batch. Respawn Hunter ones, are any of those ones that make you excited?
This season's did not really excite me.
Speedloader Slacks, the Facade, the Triton Vice, and the Moth Keeper's Wraps, or any of those, like, oh my god.
The Moth Keepers are gimmicky and they're funny if you have the exotic grenade launcher, right? You know what I'm talking about? The one that you never have to reload, right? So it's gimmicky and it's fun with that for like ad clear, but it's not really good boss damage. It's not really good for anything else besides ad clear. And it's just gimmicky, you know? If you don't have anybody around, you got 2 butterflies that blow up. If you have somebody around, one of the butterflies heal you. Wow. Right? So there are better exotics to take up that slot that are going to do more for you than that. So it's gimmicky, it's funny, but it doesn't have value. There you go. Yeah. There's no value in it.
No one's saying, "Oh my god, you have to use this in insert high level content here."
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's a good batch of exotics, and if you're coming back, maybe it's a good way to like. And no, again, you're getting 1 or 3, depending on. Or oh my gosh, with the exotics, you could round out your collection because you're going to get 6 of these, either 6 or 18, again, depending on how this tokens work. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can catch up with exotics, or get 1, then focus it with your 10 trillion exotic engrams. If you're trying to at least get 1 unlocked. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Exotics don't feel exotic nor exciting, especially the most recent batch. Yeah, there's some good ones, but none of them. There's a lot more in the game where I would almost rather them go, hey, here is the 4 top exotics by usage across the classes. That sort of the best. The exotic Hall of Fame. We're going to bring back and say, if you didn't get these or don't have these or don't have a good roll on these, here's a good selection of exotics for your character, not just here's the 4 most recent ones to have at them.
Yeah, because I mean they're losing ideas for exotics. They have exotics that do cool stuff, but the good exotics get nerfed almost immediately. And again, it wasn't Mike; it was somebody else that said it. They were venting about PvP and their exotics, and they made a point to say that exotics don't even feel exotic anymore. It's just an expensive legendary that you can only have 1 of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I can't put mods into it. I can't change it. I can't, for the most part, craft it in a meaningful way. Yeah, there are some you can craft, but there's a lot where that's just what it is, and it's you. Once you got it, you got it. Honestly, I mean, again, without the raid weaponry, I would be looking at the mementos, going, well, yeah, those would be fun to have. At least it's something that I didn't get, even though I played those activities. I only got 1 of. So yeah, I'd like to have a couple more. Now again, I can probably only hold 1 of these, so I have to grab it and put it on. Put it on a weapon immediately. I mean, I'm assuming. No, it does say amount. It does have the amounts next to the miscellany category. The with the mementos, the shards, the alloys, the ciphers. Like it says 1 lost memento and 1 dawning memento. Does that mean I can only have 1? Period. Like can I only pick up 1 in the 6 weeks, or could I pick up 1 a week? I don't understand what that means.
You have to use them. The mementos are the things that you can only have 1 of in your inventory, so that you can have 1 and then just use it. Otherwise, you won't be able to get another one.
So Ascendant Shard, Ascendant Alloy, the amount is 2. So does that mean I can get 2 per week? 2 total? Like I just it's like again, like the memento, I can only hold 1, but like, is it a knockout system? Oh, you've gotten your memento, you're done. You've gotten your exotic cipher, you're done. Yeah, pick something else for week 2.
And I understand that an exotic cipher is basically a glorified shader, right? That you have to do stuff in order to unlock the shader part of it. But the thing that I don't understand,
the cipher is the thing you take to Zerg.
Sorry, pick up a new thing. Memento, sorry. The memento is a glorified shader, right? And I get that they say, hey, you can only get 1 at a time, and you have to do this activity to get it. Fair enough. I support both of those decisions, right? The part where you lose me, and I think an idiot was throwing rocks at a dartboard, is where you can only hold one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that a thing? You know, even if you want us to keep grinding out per weapon, because you have to use it per weapon, and then it's gone, by the way. So it's one per weapon, and then you have to kill people with that specific weapon, not that weapon class. Like if you have the Chattering Bone and you use a different Chattering Bone, it's not going to unlock the memento for this Chattering Bone, right? So you have to use that weapon with that memento. Even then, it's annoying, but I still support that decision. But allow people to have more than one. Letting them have only one is the stupid part. And I'm underselling it when I say stupid. And asinine isn't a strong enough word. There's a word I want to use, but it'll get us banned, so I'm going to avoid it. But I think you know what I'm thinking about. That's
Vault
a really
space.
bad idea. Vault space.
If you would have given me, if I could have turned in 6 tokens for vault space, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
Bro, I've been telling them to sell vault space with silver. That would have made them money, and we would have gotten vault space. That's a win-win for both people. And if that didn't entice them, tokens won't. Like, come on, man.
I mean, I'm excited to go do the wishes, and I'm excited that, you know, there's at least some. I'm happy they're giving us an activity, unlike all the seasonal events, where there actually feels like something worth getting out of it.
Right.
Not just, yeah, you can play this, and we gave you a memento that you might only get one of. Okay, well, that's fine, but I'm playing it because I'm just a Pavlovian creature at this point. It says, "Oh, here's a new activity," and I go play it dutifully. But it's not like I'm playing it for anything. Even Gambit this season, I'm going, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of engrams, and I'll probably get some breakdecks out of it, but I'm not excited about it. I'm going, it's here. Destiny is a comfortable chair to sit in, and your old pair of sweatpants and a nice sweater you can put on and just feel very comfortable in. That's what Destiny feels like. It's comfortable. It's reliable. I know everything about it, and it's comfort food. That's what Destiny is. I go back to it because I don't have to think. I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's exactly how I left it 6 years ago.
Well, no, it's definitely not the way we left it 6 years ago. So I think that's a bit of a misleading statement. But yeah, Destiny is going to be Destiny. Oh, Gambit is?
Yeah, however many years it's been, but still, I mean, Destiny is Destiny. At the end of the day, the exact weapon I'm using or the armor I'm wearing is different, but it's still Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah, but Gambit Prime though. Gambit Prime.
Yeah, I mean, again, things you could bring me.
And not even Gambit Prime, the armor. Give me the armor back, man. That's all I really care about. Can I have that?
No,
I'll tell you what I will give you though. Me personally, I will give you Moments of Triumph 2023 returning on 30th of January.
Can you see the excitement on my face?
You may have to go and play some more Gambit to get stuff. You may.
No, you won't. They won't make anybody do that.
It's making its triumphant return on January 30th, and it returns with 30 challenges, celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in this past year. So if you've been playing, some of these have already been completed. See, they say some of them have already been completed, which just gets you closer to the 26 you need to earn the 2023 title, or the MMXXIII title. That's Roman numerals stuff.
What is that? What is that? What does that spell? MM. So M means 1,000. Okay. What was
I already said 2023. So there. In your face.
I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah.
Because you just said, "Oh, these Roman numerals." I didn't hear you say what they mean. I'm like, those are numbers, brother.
No, they aren't.
They mean something.
They're just chicken scratch. It's not real. None of it's real.
Along the way, you could also earn some event rewards, including the Laurel Shell for your Ghost, and the Fire Guild Quadrig Sparrow, and access to purchasing the 2023 Moments of Triumph shirt. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Not interested in the shirt this year, even though it's got a dragon on it. Have we got the other one interested? Dragons!
Wait,
dragons!
Stop. Back up.
Proper dragon.
There is a dragon.
I don't see that. Where's that at?
The t-shirt.
Under Moments of Triumph. It's the one that looks like it's the one that looks like a t-shirt in the TWAB.
I'm in the TWAB. I've been that one.
Scroll down till you see the t-shirt. It's the one that looks like the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more clear we can be.
Yeah, no, I honestly I saw a shirt and I didn't even look at the picture. I just glanced over.
Dragon.
No, it's definitely a dragon. I do
Dragon.
appreciate it, but the design is kind of meh. I mean, it's not shooting fire. It's got a shield. Dragons don't need shields. Their scales make shields, dummies. Why would a dragon need a shield? And I know it's a coat of arms. Don't come at me, but still. No, I might get it just because it's got a dragon. You know, I admit I have a problem. Shut up.
And a nice arrow that points up to your head too.
Yeah, I'm with stupid.
I'm with dragon with shield. I don't know.
No, the dragon and shield is with stupid.
And there's a sparrow that looks like it came right out of Trials. And there's a little ghost, or I guess it's more the Olympic Games that came than Trials. The ghost has this little wreath of leaves on him, and I don't know. The sparrow just looks kind of like it has wings, but gold and has a little flag.
Those are supposed to be wings, yeah.
There's still no SRL to use it in, so yeah.
Fun fact, and I'm sure you two educated gentlemen know this, but for other people, the original Olympics used to be held with the attendee, no, not the attendees, the competitors, is the word I was looking for, completely in the nude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Olympics used to be straight up naked. Fun fact. Look it up.
It
Too bad our Guardians can't be complete. No, I'm joking. I know our Guardians completely naked.
But soon you'll be able to change your face for the first time in forever, and you'll remember what your Guardian's face looks like. Ooh.
Yeah. I have a feeling why that happens, but that's not a thing we can talk about online. So
7 million deaths are not enough for Master Geralt.
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 You were close. Geralt.
Well, apparently, to be the White Wolf and hunt monsters for a living, sword at hand, cutting down those smelly ghouls like they are nothing, or thralls if you're on the moon. Sounds cool, eh? I
do like the emblem.
I don't know who this person is, but they want us to get 7,777,777 sword kills, which I'm gonna guess is done by now because this is the Destiny community, and if you give somebody something to go hit, it'll be done. I don't know if it is or not, but I assume it's most of the way there. You don't know
who Geralt is. We've explained it to you already. He's from The Witcher. You asked about him the season we did the whole Witcher thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's The Witcher. He is The Witcher from the game and TV show. Can you guess the name? The Witcher.
Big swordy guy.
Yeah, double big swordy guy. Yes.
Well, then why can't I have two swords? I want two swords.
That is a great question. I support that.
Dual wield when.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know why we're doing this now, but Bungie wants us to get a bunch of sword kills, and then we'll have a sword emblem that's
once again
very orange with a sword. Started on Thursday at noon Pacific time and is running, and they will never tell us what the running count is. Well, they'll just tell us next Thursday that, hey, you did it. Exceeded our expectations. Wow. And then we get an emblem. So I suppose I should kill something with the sword to say I participated. I don't know. I just when did we get the Witcher emblem?
Though. I mean,
was that this season or last season? When did the Witcher emblem come out?
Geralt came again this season and I'm convinced Marasov wished him to be there like she did with not Saladin. Throw more grenades. I'm flaking right now.
Shax.
How she wishes Shax to be there so she could, bump uglies. I have a feeling she did the same thing with Geralt. That's why underneath where she sits, Geralt's hot tub is there that he takes a bath in, right? So that's the only correlation that I can see between why they're doing this season, because Geralt's hot tub is there. Geralt isn't, but his hot tub is, right? So
I sat in his hot tub with my hot tub emote while I was witnessing all the conversations happening. I was double hot tubbing.
So many hot tubs.
I had no idea why there was a hot tub down there.
Yeah, it's a hot tub. I'm Geralt takes a bath. Yeah.
But what we all knew: 64% of hunters are evil.
Yeah. Whoa!
Warlocks are 54% evil, and Titans are 65% good. At least as far as voting for the armor sets went.
Sorry, I was chatting. But I love the fact that the Titans are trying to be the good guys here.
Because they're so
noble. No, that's what it says right here. The kind-hearted Titans
No.
punched the
No.
trend with 65%, choosing to be the good wizards. Listen here, you Harry Potter wannabes, all right? You'll never be the good wizard, okay? You're punchy Titans. You don't even know how to use magic. You punch the sun with your forehead, okay?
Listen. Like I said last week, this is 100% for the hat. We just want the good hat. Because the evil hat looks just like the other two hats that are in this photo with the Warlocks and the Hunters. We just wanted a good floppy hat. That's all we were here for. Because the shoulders, stupid. Everything else, terrible. This was 100% hat-based voting, I guarantee you. So the Titans are getting the good set. The other two classes are getting the evil set. If you don't remember what they are, go look at the TWAB. They're right there in one lovely photo for you.
Yeah. Every time I look at the Hunter, I still get the whole Ultimate Warrior vibe. For you young people that don't know who that is, he's a wrestler that used to be in WWF, back when it was still called WWF, right?
Yeah, the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah, that one, yeah. I swear to God, it looks just like him, dude. The colors are different, but the face paint is the same. And I can't unsee that. I love the armor, but if I get it, I'm immediately changing the helmet to something else because it's ridiculous. I hope it's not attached to the hat. I hope the helmet is something entirely different and the hat is part of the cloak. Because I want the hat
is part of the cloak if you look at the drawing.
Good. Because I want to change the face, but I want to keep the hat.
So yeah, good hats. Game to Give, still going on. Bungie raised over $2 million. It's still going. There's a lot of different creators doing, having their own goals, setting their own things. I think the Dim guys are streaming later on today, and just saying, "Hey, we'd like to do some things." I think they have a Galahorn replica they're giving away. One of the big Galahorns. So if they're, I don't remember if it was. I don't think it was a Nerf one. I think it was another one. I saw. I saw someone posting it somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. So I don't remember. They're just like, "Hey, we have a big Galahorn thing that's going on," or that we're giving away when we stream. So if you watch people and they're streaming and they're like, "Hey, doing a thing," then do the thing. Give them some money, win some things. There's also all the emblems you can get that Bungie emailed about. Apparently, if you've been playing this game a while, my team also sent you an email going, "Hey, here's a gift from us." So if you normally ignore your Bungie emails, go find the one saying, "Hey, here's a gift from us," all about Game to Give, because they give you a free code for one of the emblems. So basically one of the old Game to Give emblems you can go grab out of their email, and they give you a free code for basically $7 worth of embleming. So worth for one of them. So you can do that or not do that. I won't tell you what to do. There's Twitch drops, which you can watch Twitch, and there's a pill bottle looking, or like a pill looking emblem. I don't know. It's weird. Blue and purple. But yeah, Game to Give still going on, going to the 4th. Yeah. If you haven't heard of that by now, then you have not been watching anybody in the Destiny community doing anything. So they're also working with the Mexican artist Jesus Ramos Solis El Capitan. I'm gonna stop butchering this.
Yeah, don't butcher.
A Mexican artist that I cannot pronounce.
Copete.
Yeah, that person.
Don't pretend you know either.
And founder
Excuse
of
me? My last name is Perez. You racist.
Well, then here you read these words and tell us all about the Mexican artist they've partnered with to do some really cool looking ghosts.
Okay. This year, we're also working with Mexican artist Jesus Ramos Solis El Capitan Copete, Maria Sarmiento, and the founder of, now that word I can't say, Wixarita? Arte Quico. I don't know that word either.
Oh my word. What do we actually pay you for?
We tried.
Yeah, I was gonna say you pay me, but no, you actually do.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Miguel Angel Castillo, who have handcrafted 3 unique, one of a kind ghost shells that unite Destiny 2 and traditional Mexican art. And I do agree that these are very, very reminiscent of Mexican art. The first one is the Day of the Dead. The second one is traditional Mexican bead. What do they call it? Not bead crafting, but they make a lot of stuff with like I can't remember what's the damn word. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't. The last one's not familiar to me, but the first two, 100% saw that stuff growing up a lot. But the last one, I can't place that at all. I don't know
The,
what kind of art
the last
that is.
one with the eyeball, with the eye painted is a little trippy. I feel like it's going to watch you walk around the room.
It already is. If you move yourself between, no, I'm messing. If you move back and forth on the screen, it watches you. Yeah. Anyway, so these 3 exclusive works will be auctioned off to raise funds for Make-A-Wish, the Mexican version. So Make-A-Wish Mexico. The auction is currently live and will end on January 28th. So it'll be over by the time this comes out at 4 p.m. PST during a live stream hosted by Ep.262. Alyssa Chambers and El Tito Toland. No, El Tio, sorry. The Uncle Toland? His name is the Uncle Toland. That's funny. You can find more info and there's a link there. I'm not going to say the whole thing. Go to the TWAB. And it's time to join forces, Guardians. We hope we can count on your support and spreading the word. Visit game2give.com for more information regarding this whole thing.
And if you are hearing this live or somehow hacked into Night Demon's computer to get this recording before this ends tomorrow, the Beaded Ghost is currently sitting at $355. The now this is because the picture here on the site does not have the eyeball in the middle. The one that has the eyeball in the TWAB but does not, the one on the far right here, is sitting at $530, but there's no eyeball on the actual bid site. So, And then the Day of the Dead one on the far left on the TWAB is sitting at $1,010 right now.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So if you're interested in having those, here's your chance. And if not, then you miss it because Bungie didn't tell you quick enough.
I wonder if that's because, I don't know. It could be for whatever reason. I like the one in the middle with the beads. That one, I like the design. I like the color scheme, everything about it. But I guess just more people know of the Day of the Dead. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
That is cool, though, that
I would have thought it been much higher.
Maybe it's the lore behind the Day of the Dead, because they celebrate death because they celebrate the life that you lived, and they don't mourn death like most other cultures do. They celebrate the life. So maybe that's why it's so popular.
Maybe.
Anyway, did you know that there's competitive Crucible competitive Crucible weekly rewards? Thank you. And the next week's update,
I had heard about them.
Did you know that in next week's update, we will be adding Ascendant Alloys as new weekly rewards to the competitive playlist? And upon completing the weekly challenge for the seasonal weapon, a second challenge will unlock. So that's 2. That's doubled. Offering an Ascendant Alloy as a reward for completing 3 additional matches. That's it. Not winning, not losing, just completing. And additionally, the first challenge of the season, completing the 7 placement matches, will also reward an Ascendant Alloy. What? That's crazy, man!
So are you telling me that I picked 1 week too early to finally start playing some competitive PvP and finish my 7 matches a week too soon?
Nope. Nope. You were practicing for next week is what it is.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
Good.
Practicing, yeah.
Yeah. I was telling Night Demon, I just finally set foot after 4 seasons of play your 7 placement matches and get ranked or whatever. I finally have played like 8 matches in total. Right in time for them to both, looks like, give me new rewards and also remove the second part of the quest that they just removed in the update this week too. So, picked a great time to jump into competitive because I would like that. I like the pulse rifle. The pulse rifles are fun.
So, Peroty, what's happening in your player support report this week?
Well, we have some good, we have some evil, and then we have a chaotic neutral warlock.
As always,
which is the best kind.
There's a game to give FAQ, so if you have queues that have maybe FA'd, you can get all those answered in the nice little link they have till February 4th. They updated the text chat filtering settings because they put some text chat filtering, and you can maybe allow profanity, maybe not. Or you can maybe take 30 minutes to remember how text chat works on a console and then just turn it back off again and say, I don't have to worry about this. But there should be some filtering that works now in theory. We have known issues because of course we do. So the totem spawns in the Warlord's Ruin dungeon. Yeah, the ones that were broken and then they patched to make more broken and then they reverted the patch to make less broken. they are still sometimes
Are you
inconsistent.
sure it's not left broken?
Well, I mean, I think it actually is left broken, but it is also left and less broken. So, and just a reminder, the totem spawns, they were broken, they patched it, it made all the totems break, so they've reverted that patch this week. So we're back to the original broken state, so we're going with sometimes inconsistent. So we'll settle on that. The Winter's Guile exotic uses the term encased instead of frozen in the perk description. Let it go. Just let it go.
What's the difference? If you're encased, aren't you frozen?
Nope. It's different. They didn't care for that word. They wanted the other word. So just let it go, Respawn.
Okay.
There's repriced Dreaming City weapons, but they don't count toward the Cursebreaker title progress.
Excellent.
So if you're trying to go back to the old place to do an old thing, you can't do it with the new weapons. Good job. Great work. And players are being granted incorrect triumphs after acquiring the ritual ornaments for the chivalric fire sword. So I don't know what you're getting, but something different. And that's it. Everything else is beautiful. Those are the only 4 issues. Everything else is perfection.
That ain't that, homeboy.
And then we have a movie this week about the story of Naeem met Heffend, the Wish Dragon. And then we have some Spy Hunter artwork of a Strand Hunter because, let's face it, we're all Strand Hunters now. And Bungie hopes we have fun in the Riven Wishes. Maybe work toward that Apex weapon pattern if you don't have it, or if you do, grab a shiny Dawning Memento and kick it up a notch. You've worked hard. You deserve
know what
it.
Bungie do need to work on, though? If you go to your collections and you have a look at the Apex Predator rocket launcher, it's missing. You can look where it's meant to be, but you can't actually look at the weapon. It tells you the stats, but it's missing. And I thought, you know what?
What's an Apex Predator? Bungie? I don't know.
Maybe it was my signing. So I changed to a different character. Had another look. I was like, it's not there. Oh, I've got you, Bungie. No, I've got you, Bungie. I'm going to fly to the tower and I'm going to visit Hawthorne because Hawthorne's got a red bordered picture of all of them. I can click on those and have a look at them.
Nope.
Every single one apart from that one. Nope. Disappeared.
So if you've seen the Apex Predator rocket launcher this week, please let Bungie, as it is gone missing somewhere.
Well, you just can't actually view it. It's still there, and I think the same thing with the Sleepless as well. Because I thought maybe it's all grenade launchers, but I think it was rocket launchers.
Well, I mean, the Iron Banner one was bright pink from Lord Salander for the longest time, and I am devastated that it did not come out that way when I pulled one. So maybe we're just taking that up a notch.
Yeah, I remember that whole thing, dude. I was upset about that too.
That's
I understand where you're coming from.
So, Peroty, we did get an update 7.3.0.9.6. Whatever it was. What was it this week? Could you tell us about that?
We did have on January 23rd update 7306, and it fixed a number of things. Apparently in Crucible there was an intro quest called Ascending the Division that they've removed, which I find funny because finally this week, like what are we, 4 seasons after they introduced like the competitive placement quest, I have now played, I believe, 8 competitive games. In my career since then.
One more than you had to.
So I was about to embark on. Apparently, I had to look it up because I did the testing your metal quest, basically the we don't know where to put you, let's place you quest. And I guess this would have been the next quest I would have done, but not anymore because it's gone now. So by the time I got there, it didn't exist anymore, which I just found funny. They fixed an issue where the quitter penalty was not working in Trials of Osiris Labs. Apparently, it worked in regular Trials of Osiris, but not the labs. The Iron Banner control is now a selectable node when other nodes are featured. So I assume that means every time we get Eruption or Fortress control will be an option. Now, whether that holds true to the next one and they hit the button to turn it on, we'll see. But theoretically, control should be an option in Iron Banner going forward. They also fixed an issue where Eruption was missing the voiceover lines. Which, I mean, if no one's shouting at you, why bother playing? In the seasonal activities, the spike traps are now slightly more forgiving when jumping over them. So that can only be good things. They fixed an issue where the final radio messages of the season did not complete the Amankara Tales Triumph. They fixed an issue where the rolled stats triumph didn't take a tier 1 purchase into consideration. In Riven's Lair, they fixed an issue where the Vex Titan missiles tracked enemies instead of players. In the Coil, They fixed an issue where dialogues not considering the player's current progression in the season narrative would play. So I assume it might either play you story beats you hadn't heard yet, or play you things out of order, or spoil things for you. But now it should play things properly.
Yeah.
Also, if you got to your 100,000 point challenge, it wasn't resetting weekly. Now it should be resetting weekly, so you can do it again the next week. Your strand enhancement buff was giving the stasis enhancement buff instead. So if you've been picking it up and going, this doesn't seem stronger, I don't know how you would tell, but yeah, it wasn't. And if you were secretly using stasis things, those were getting buffed. So strand should now empower strand versus stasis. In the Star-Crossed quest,
called it.
They allegedly fixed an issue where players could damage the boss from outside the arena, and an issue where players could get trapped below the floor. I think Cheese Forever says otherwise.
But we did call it last week that this is definitely one on their radar that they were going to go, no, that's not how we want you to do it. It's like, but no, this is how we want to do it. So you leave us alone.
Yeah, sorry, you gave us the option, and now
look, Bungie. At the end of the day, we went through a very long quest. Some of us did to go and get the Wish Ender bow. There was a lot of backwards and forth, going to Dreaming City, going to the Tangled Shore, getting tokens getting stuck in our inventory. Look, we earned that bow. We should be able to do with that bow whatever we want to do with that bow. So, in actual fact, we went the long way round to actually get that mission done, because we did that first initial mission to get the Wish Ender. So we made it hard on ourselves. Other people that have come into the game today could just go into that mission, and they if they didn't have the Wish Ender, they had to go into that room and use the buffs and do the different things. So potato.
I think your attempt at justifying how we had it harder despite we having the Wish Ender it's futile, because we didn't have to get the Wish Ender now. We had to do it forever ago. Now, if the new players had to get the Wish Ender first and then do it, then your argument might have some substance.
Well, they do.
But
if
I
they
see
want
what you're trying to do, and you're being dishonest with everyone.
No, I'm not being dishonest. I'm just stating the facts that if you want to do it the easier way, you do have to go the long way round to get the bow before you can do it the easy way. So, you know, but
is it really the long way around, though? Because the Wish Ender can be done too easy. I know a podcast guy who soloed that mission, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Okay.
I think I've heard of that same guy.
One guy on a podcast, like, say, I don't know, this one, can do it by themselves. I'm pretty sure a fire team of 3 can do it even easier, especially with the power creep, and especially with Strand at their disposal now.
Yeah, but you see, you have to go and get Strand, so that makes it even longer for a quest, because you have to unlock the Strand stuff and then power up the Strand. You're making this quest even longer than it should be.
Destiny is nothing. Bungie is nothing if they don't love a super long quest to get to a thing.
Yeah,
and they're all about super long quests to get to a thing. And even after I saw Cheese Forever mention it, Noble also mentioned anyone still needing Star-Crossed Legend for the Catalyst that's concerned by the fix, quote unquote. Don't worry, it hasn't actually been fixed. You can still shoot through the shield with the Wish Ender. It's just prevented. So what I do is jump down, get the health bar, and jump back up. Yes, the health bar isn't necessary, but I just like to see it. So yeah, not actually fixed. So the 4th Catalyst, I'll be able to go back and fix and get the last one for the Wish Keeper. Also, were you guys talking about the Wish Ender or the Wish Keeper? Because those are two different bows.
Wish Ender is the one that you have to go and do the Shattered Throne for, which is what I was saying, that it's a longer kind of quest, because you've got to go and get that exotic before you go into the Star-Crossed mission to get the Wish Keeper bow.
So they just want to be friends. The Wish Ender and the Wish Keeper are best friends.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Why.
Yeah.
No, they're not best friends. They're completely opposite. One keeps wishes, one ends wishes. That's not how that works.
Well, I can tell you what doesn't work.
If anything, it kind of sounds... I'm sorry. If I'm talking over you, it's because I can't hear and speak at the same time because I'm on my phone. But it sounds like a marriage, right? Somebody makes the money, somebody else ends the money. Somebody makes the wishes, somebody else ends the wishes.
Well, the Wish Ender ends your wish of not having the Wish Keeper, because then you get the Wish Keeper and then you're happy again. But you know who's not happy? Anybody trying to run Warlord's Ruin. Because remember the issue where they fixed... Well, they did apparently fix the issue where you could get trapped in a death loop inside the hidden room before the final encounter. That one's fixed. but they did also revert the right side Warlord totem fix from the last update. They caused more totem spawning issues. So we're basically back to the original totem spawning issues.
Are they investigating though? Because we need to know if there's an investigation underway.
A new fix is being investigated for a future update.
Good.
Now, I cannot say I've been into the Warlord's Ruin to see if that's the case. So they said they rolled it back. We're going to assume that's what happened until someone says, no, that's not actually what happened. Now it's a different bug. But in theory, it should be the original Warlord's Ruin bug.
Okay.
With the totems. But it gets you out of the Death Loop room. So call it a win. And Titans, your Peregrine Greaves no longer deal additional damage to boss level tormentors like Nezarec.
So when they say like Nezarec, they mean Nezarec, but what other boss level tormentors are there? I want a list. I need to know which ones I can't use the Peregrine Greaves on.
Which tormentors are boss level and which ones are other ones? I can't quite see their name badges close enough. I can't quite see the lanyard to see what level they are when I'm punching them in the face.
Yeah, I need a list.
The symbol next to their name denotes whether they're boss, champion, or elites, doesn't it?
Well, it's also tell me which is which. So no more kicking Nezarec. And
well, you can still kick him, but just Peregrine Greaves won't do additional damage.
Right. Is that intentional? Because the whole point of their change was to make it do more damage to bosses and to reset it when you do manage to hit a boss. Because it's in that case, I'm on the Titan side. It's high risk, high reward. You know what I'm saying? So do they intentionally revert it?
Yes, there's literally a change they put in this patch note saying for boss level tormentors like Nezarec, aka Nezarec, we're reversing this change because we're tired of you kicking our raid bosses to death.
But you can kick other raid bosses to death. It's just him that they did this for?
Yeah. Just him and other boss level tormentors. So him and all the other boss level tormentors in the game, it also applies to.
Which is just him. Right?
That's why we want a list of names.
Yes,
I need names.
Yeah, and all other boss level tormentors.
Oh.
So that entire list.
I can't hear and speak at the same time, so I'm sorry if I've repeated things.
They fixed an issue preventing some versions of the artifact from previous seasons being correctly cleared from players' inventories.
Okay.
So I guess go pick them back up again if they were fully... There's a lot of words there, and it's early in the morning. My brain's not working.
Is that, though, because of the glitch that can happen if you equip the previous artifact from other seasons and it gives you that kind of plus 20 health buff? Not plus 20 health, plus 20 in light, doesn't it? It gives you... There is a way... I believe there's a Cheese Forever video that if you swap out the artifact that they give you for the current season for an old artifact that you can pull from your inventory, it kind of gives you an extra plus 20 in light, so to help you go through Grandmasters and things. Is that an issue where they kind of fix the issue? Or is it just that when you go back to the Helm every season, you have to pick up all the old artifacts, literally go to like the Helm table, go to the seafood bar, pick up that one, and you have to do that for each character, and they have to be in your inventory to then generate to get the stuff for it. It's a kind of passive generation for the other, like for the other seasons that you've done.
Materials and stuff,
engrams and materials and things, so that it just works while you're still playing the current season stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so weirdly worded, and I don't have any context. Yeah, some versions of artifacts from previous seasons being correctly cleared from players' inventories. So not incorrectly cleared, but from being correctly cleared. So maybe people weren't having their artifacts removed and were just there, and they couldn't get rid of them. Maybe I don't know.
No.
But if any of these words make sense to you, it should be fixed now. Also, weapons. We have fixed an issue where the Enhanced Deconstruct incorrectly displayed the Attrition Orb perk. Fixed an issue with the Enhanced Adept Word of Crota hand cannon could incorrectly gain certain magazine perks.
Ooh.
Invalid magazines will be removed and replaced with valid magazine options. Fixed 2 more issues with the seasonal bow. Lithophobia was missing the bow charge meter. and where the Precision Instrument perk would not grant its damage bonus against Divinity Cages. And finally, the Friendly Feet Dance emote will now show expected prompts for its standard and multiplayer interactions, so you could friendly feet dance with your fellow Guardians once again. And returning players who are unable to use a Fireteam Finder above Guardian rank 5, that's now been fixed, so you can Guardian rank Friend Find once again. And the Dawning Triumph for the Reveler that couldn't be completed, now it can be completed.
That's good.
Yeah, so those are all the things they fixed, some good, some bad, and some utterly confounding that we don't understand at all. But things have changed, things have broken, and we'll see what those are next week.
Like Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner. I mean, I know I say this every couple of weeks. I would like to know a roadmap of the season to say, right, this is what's coming up here, 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 and here. Not a spoiler like we used to have the roadmaps of going, right, you're going to be doing this activity this week. This week's going to show you this enemy. I don't want that. I just want the basic stuff. I want to know when Trials Labs is going to be coming up and what Trials Labs it's going to be, because it may be something that I want to plan ahead for and play. The same with Iron Banner. Is it going to be Control as that selectable mode? And then what are the other featured modes going to be, or the rotation that you've obviously got it laid down somewhere to say, right, the first week we're going to have Tribute, second week we're going to have Eruption, third week we're going to have Fortress. Then last time it went to Control, so it's not going to be double Control. So are we looking at maybe possibly Tribute coming back, or is Tribute not fixed yet and it's going to be Eruption and just Fortress? Or could we be looking at something like the Destiny 1 era and maybe have a Rift, have a Clash, have Mayhem, just something new in those kind of things? But things like that I'd like to know ahead of time, and especially with like Crucible Labs. In the weekly flash up this week, all it told us is that Momentum Control is coming back next week and Showdown. Now, they'd already told us that Momentum Control was coming back on the 30th, but with the 3v3 playlist, all it seems to be is Elimination Showdown, Elimination Showdown, Elimination Showdown. So it's pretty predictable. I'd like to know if that is going to be continuing for the rest of the season, because they spent a lot of time honing different things like I can't remember their names now. There was, I'm just going to have a quick look at it up because I did write it all down. Countdown. We went through 3 different versions of Countdown in the Trials Labs. So we had regular Countdown, which was Countdown Classic. Then we had Countdown Respawn, and then we had Countdown Rush. Those haven't kind of made their way into the 3v3 playlist. So they've got Checkmate Clash at the moment, the 3v3 Checkmate Clash, which is like the skirmish from Destiny 1.
Yep.
And we've had to call it variations of like the Relic game, and I can't remember what the other one was that they had in there for a while. They had, let's go to my notes. It was Relic, and we had the Checkmate Control, Checkmate Survival, and Checkmate Rumble in the 3v3 kind of playlists, but or in the Crucible Labs, sorry. So they've got all these different modes in the Crucible Labs, but they seem to have just stuck to one thing for quite some time. And the same with the 3v3 playlist. The 3v3 playlist has just kind of been stuck with Elimination Showdown. There are other game modes that they could possibly put in there. What about just like a 3v3 Clash? Like you've got with the skirmish version in the Crucible Labs, maybe take out the checkmate part of it and just put it in 3v3. Or some of the other game modes that they've had previously. It seems to be stuck in a loop at the moment. And,
it does. And yeah, I mean, again, and this is someone whose competitive opinion should be taken with the largest grain of salt you can find. Because again, I've played no competitive for like 4 seasons and then just now finally dipped a toe into it. It got really old going and setting charges and defending charges, setting charges, defending charges, setting charges, defending charges. And then, a match of Clash where we could just kill each other. And then back to setting and defending charges. It was I almost would have loved, and again, this was only like, I think I played like 4 or 5 games in a row and then another, 3 or 4 games. So again, like I have not played a lot, and nor have I played a lot over the last few seasons, but it just got really repetitive, especially when you're playing Midtown, setting and defending charges over and over again. I don't know what it was, but I got put in, we got put into Midtown twice in a row with the same game mode. I'm going, now I know there is some random ability here. Like there should be some randomness to this. Like this is a different group of 7 people than I just played this match, or not 7 people. Different group of 5 people. There were 6 of us. It was a different group of 6 besides me that we had just played on this, and now we're back here in the same mode with the same thing. I'm going, is the pool of maps and modes so small that that's what we get? And I understand it. Yeah, sometimes it's going to happen, but it's like this is not enjoyable.
No, and it seems really weird at the moment with, I mean, I can understand them wanting to kind of try things out in the labs. That's understandable, like with the relic and the checkmate kind of stuff. That's fine. But to kind of, for the first 5 weeks, we didn't know that it was going to be, or 6 weeks, or was it 5 weeks? Yeah, for the first 5 weeks, we didn't know it was going to be relic for 5 weeks, because that relic was meant to come back at the end of last season, but never came back at the end of last season. It just kind of stuck with, I think it was checkmate control in the end every time I kind of checked. But that's not what they told us was going to happen. And it would have just been nice to see kind of a roadmap of, right, this is what we've got planned. So if you're interested in kind of getting into one of these game modes and giving us some feedback, that would be nice. And like the Party Relentless playlist that's kind of been kind of fused together, the other 6v6 playlist. I mean, we now have the 6v6 playlist, which when Iron Banners comes up, is taking over. So we don't have the regular control. But they haven't said that the regular control is coming back next week. So, and I'm guessing because we haven't seen it in the TWAB this week, the Sparrow control that we got told about at the beginning or at the end of last season that is coming in that control rotation hasn't been here for 10 weeks or 11 weeks. 10 weeks. So when is it coming? Because so far we've had checkmate control, we've had Iron Banner Tribute, then we had checkmate control, checkmate control, checkmate control, then Iron Banner, and then we had a couple of weeks of normal control, and then we've had Iron Banner Fortress this week. Is it going to be another week of control next week, or are you going to surprise us and go, ta-da, here's Sparrow control? Because apart from a change that you told us the previous week to say that it was coming, and you've kind of tuned something in it, we haven't heard any more. So is it still coming this season? Is it going to be next week, or is it going to be the week after? Are you thinking more people want to play Momentum Control in the Party Relentless playlist, the other 6v6 playlist, because that, again, hasn't been available in this season for 10 weeks.
Right. Which is coming back next week. I was going to look because, that is the one they did say come back January 30th. Momentum Control. Yeah. But nothing about Sparrow. Yeah. It really feels like we're this. Part of me wants to say, Bungie, we're this far into this game. You don't really need to rely on the FOMO to like pull people in and get people excited. Like we're either here or we're not. Like the FOMO is not going to be what's pulling people back. It's going to be saying, hey, I want to dip my toe back into Destiny. Oh, I really enjoy X. Let me go play the week X is up. Or, hey, my buddy keeps telling me this is a fun mode. I have no idea when it shows up. Oh, hey, here's where it shows up. But I'm not convinced it's like, a master plan of, we're going to keep you in the dark and FOMO and make you log in every day and every week. It really just feels like we laid off enough people. We're not sure what's going to happen. So something's going to happen, and then we're going to scramble and fix it if it's not right. So we can't tell you what's coming because we're not really sure ourselves. Which is like, and again, and this is me not complaining about anybody working at Bungie. This is not me saying you guys aren't working hard. Oh, those developers. I'm just saying
constructive feedback.
I'm just saying you dumped a lot of people in a game that was already, a 10+ year old enterprise, and I say 10+ years because it's built on code from Halo and systems already exist. This is a very old, very large, very sprawling game with a billion moving pieces. I don't even want to pretend like I understand, what dictates what comes up each week with all the modifiers and roles and rotations that are going on. Like, no, in no world do I think that's an easy thing to manage. But it just seems like, things aren't getting better. Things are getting worse. And it's like, you're going to get what you're going to get each week. And you just sort of, so if you're looking for something like, momentum control that hasn't been up in a very long season, you think, oh, a 6-month season, I'll get to play this a whole lot because it'll be up a bunch of times. And it just never appears.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you just stop looking for it and go, well, clearly it's just not going to happen. So let me go do something else.
Well, so far in that Party Relentless playlist, we've had 2 clashes, we've had 2 zone controls, 1 supremacy, 2 mayhems. So we're missing another rift, we're missing another scorched, and we're missing momentum. We've got February, March, April, May to go. So we've got another 4 months of whatever they could kind of put in there. And the same with the 6v6 playlist. We were told, I think at the beginning of the season, that we would have 5 Iron Banners this kind of huge season that we've kind of currently got. And so far, we've had 3 of those. So you're telling me February, March, April, and May, 4 months, we've only got 2 more Iron Banners to go. I think you kind of squeezed the 2 Iron Banners at the beginning of January and at the end of January too close. I wasn't expecting Iron Banner to be back this week, only for the fact that I looked through the challenges that it said there was an Iron Banner challenge. And normally it's like there's an Iron Banner challenge, but Iron Banner isn't up for another couple of weeks. So it was a big surprise. So do you put an Iron Banner in at the end of February? Or do you put it at the beginning of March and then you think, well, I'm not going to put another one in until maybe middle of April to kind of bridge that gap, and then you've got nothing in May? I know we've got other things to be doing if we are still kind of constantly playing the game. And they haven't said anything about like the Nightfalls either. So currently, well, normally it goes through the rotation of the Nightfall. So we've got the Sarps Cosmodrome, Birthplace of the Vile, Hypernet Current, Lake of Shadows, Corrupted, and the Highest Battlegrounds Moon. And then it goes back round on the rotation. So we've already had another Sarps Cosmodrome. We've had another Birthplace of the Vile. We've had another Hypernet Current. And we're currently going to get a Lake of Shadows next week, which means we'll get the Corrupted, Highest Battlegrounds after that. And then potentially, as it kind of normally does, it just carries on with that rotation of those 6 Nightfalls. So we know, in theory, those are going to be our Nightfalls until June, basically, when the final shape drops. But what we don't know is Crucible stuff, which is some of the stuff that kind of keeps people coming back to the game. Like in Destiny 1, when we had like very long content droughts or drops between expansions, Crucible was the thing there. I mean, I know Trials was a big part of that at the weekends, and we at the time we kind of had Iron Banner as well as Trials, and it kind of did that in Destiny 2 where we would still have Iron Banner and Trials, and then they kind of went, you know what, it's just going to be Iron Banner that week and you're not going to have Trials at the weekend, which I think kind of gives people a little bit of a breather, and kind of that kind of repetitiveness of doing Trials every week will kind of burn people out. So it's nice that they do get a bit of a break so they can plan ahead. Those Trials people that do the carries and things, they don't have to carry anybody at that weekend. They could go out and have touch grass, as kind of people like to say. But it would be nice to kind of see what's going on in Crucible, not necessarily maps and things. I mean, we would like to still see kind of and hear about what those are kind of, but maybe just try not put 3 weeks of 3v3 clash. Try some of the other game modes that you were trialing before.
Yeah, the game. I'm 100% with you. Would like to see them try new things, but I think we are unfortunately well past the time where they're going to try anything new.
Well, I'm not saying do anything new. I'm just saying the stuff that you put in the labs, maybe rotate those in every week, but maybe give us some feedback in the TWAB. Say, right, this game mode isn't being played, and have an open question. Say, what is it about this game mode? We're not getting enough feedback on this game mode. Please give us feedback on this mode because we want people to be invested in playing this game mode, or do we scrap this game mode? Not just, the player numbers are down, we won't put that back in the labs. I think there needs to be more of a dialogue between the players that still play Destiny 2 and enjoy playing Crucible and playing the various different modes and Bungie.
Right. And yeah, and to be clear, I'm not saying like new as in brand new. I just mean, basically tweaking the existing systems, making sure things are getting rotated properly. It really just feels like that, the people doing that work are either completely overwhelmed and overburdened and can't, or, and you've got 40 hours a week, whatever, hours a week in your week to work. It's filled with other things, and these are things not getting done. But I agree with you. It's like we go back and forth between having really good interactions from the Destiny 2 team account, and then, like sort of since the new year has started, been a little slow, been a little quieter. I wonder if some of that was, reorganization. We know that the team was decimated, so we know, the people who were there doing the work before simply are not there anymore to do that work. So, is there anyone reaching out to, creators? I know there was some end of December, early January, some sort of creator. I won't say summit, but it sounded like a handful of people talking to Bungie about what's going on with the game and what they want to see. But how much you're collecting feedback, but then what are we doing with that feedback? How many people are looking at it, and just where's the priority? Where's the who's around to do the work, and is their work getting done? And yeah, it's
yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's hard to know if they don't tell us, and we, to say nothing of, the community, in a way, like as easy as it is to lay this at the feet of Bungie and going, oh, you're doing this and not doing this, and going, well, to a degree, as a community, we kind of deserve it. The way we as a community have treated Bungie and the community people who were, trying to talk to us and give us the information. Like, in my head, I'm going, yeah, this would be really nice to see. But on the other side of that coin, I can also understand why they're pulling back and why. And clearly more serious things have happened than, obviously we as the community have any right to know. But, bad things happen pre-layoffs, things going on with people going after creators and things, or going after community managers and things. It's a video game. Relax. Like, clearly very toxic and terrible things have happened to people. So I can't really blame anyone for not going, oh, no, put me in the firing line. Let me be the face of the community to get, death threats sent to my house and whatever on. So, like, I can't really fault you for not going, no, pick me. And it's like, as a community, we're kind of reaping what we sowed. Again, and I'm not saying it's, and I'm not naming names, pointing fingers. It's no single person. It's just when you have a game with millions of people playing, it doesn't take a lot of constant abuse being hurled at you to go, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm out. I don't need this in my life. So, it would be nice to know more, to have more, and I do appreciate their move to not having it be individual people and just saying, here is, the company's account, the company line, so you don't know who it is necessarily. So it's, harder to target those people with hate and everything else. But it's also, again, this was all sort of going down before this anyway, and we are coming to the point in the game where it's like, where do we go from here? And yeah, but it'd be nice if we were at the point of the game where there were consistent and understood systems, and we knew, oh, the third week of the month is either going to be this or this. The second week is going to be this or this, because it's like, there's like a even odd month rotation. Oh, we get this set of things and this set of things. Or just something to rely on where we as a community could go, oh no, we know what you're going to give us because this is very, there's a pattern established. Oh, we swapped this out for this. Oh, there's this third thing, and it shows up in like, every other off week or whatever. But it's just, we don't have any of that reliability to rely on. And so we're going, well, what's going to happen this week? Oh, tune in to find out. Hey, when does this mode come back? Maybe never, maybe sometimes, who knows? I feel like I talked for a long time and didn't really say much.
Well, yeah. It's a kind of plea to Bungie of like, you must have something written down, and even if you don't, there should be some stuff that you've kind of got written down of what's planned to go ahead in the next couple of weeks. So it'd be nice to know a couple of weeks ahead,
right? I assume you know what you're going to do for the rest of the season, or at least the next 30, 60 days out.
Or somebody does. Somebody must know somewhere.
Presumably.
So Iron Banner this week. That's a shock return, isn't it? And we've got Fortress back again. Have you played Fortress, or did you kind of investigate to see the little kind of node to say, right, I don't really want to play Fortress. I want to go back and play Control Iron Banner. What did you select?
I played Fortress because I like Fortress. Now, if
Okay.
if it was up the last time with Eruption, in a heartbeat, I would have gone back to Control because I just I do not like the way Eruption plays. I feel like you have that slightest moment of you're doing well and you're penalized immediately for it. It's like, hey, I've got a couple kills. Oh, now I'm going to explode. Now I have to go push. Now I have to go whatever. But Fortress I enjoy. Fortress is just more control, but collapse into a central area, which can either be good or bad depending on the makeup of your team and how they're playing it. But it feels a lot more like we're just playing Control, which it is. Which did you opt for?
I cheated. I went back to Control. Like a regular bit of Control, something that I can actually control. So if I go and capture a point and defend it, I know that I've got a 50 chance of defending it against 3-4 other people if I've got my setup right. And I was messing about on my Warlock with various different builds, and because now that I'm at the stage that I don't need the pinnacles, I'm like, well, I don't need to put on the subclass that you're telling me to put on. I will just put on whatever subclass I want and just get my XP boost. So I think I started off with I was on my Warlock and I had the let me have a look at it.
The Vita is very good.
It is. I used the Centrifuge auto rifle, the nice exotic one. So, and I was on an Arc subclass, and I was using my Getaway Artist. So I had my little Arc buddy, and he was, giving me the little boost to start off with, and I was running around Arc shooting people, and that was good fun. I was getting quite a few kills with that, and then I thought, I'm going to mix it up now. I'm going to go with maybe the Astrocyte first and go on Void. And I was looking for certain weapons, and initially I was getting these kind of perks mixed up in my head on the weapons, and I originally I was thinking destabilizing rounds because final blows cause the target to become volatile, but then with the Astrocyte Verse, when you blink across somebody or close to them, that makes that target volatile anyway. So I was thinking, I vaguely remember there is a perk on a weapon that will do extra damage if somebody is volatile, and I was like, what is this perk? Where is it? I'm totally confused. And then I found it. It's the Repulsor Brace. So defeating a void debuff target grants an overshield. I was thinking, well, if I blink close to somebody and then kill them, and I'm at kind of low health, it'll give me an overshield. Maybe this is the secret play that I kind of need. Maybe I'll become a Warlock Crucible God. The only problem was that I only had long-range weapons that had Repulsor Brace on it. So I've got the Velis X Pulse Rifle with Repulsor Brace. I did have the Title Submachine Gun with Repulsor Brace, but by the time I kind of blinked in close to people, they just shotgunned me. And I was like, I need one with shotgun. I need it on the shotgun, and I didn't have one with the shotgun. So I was like, if I was a shotgunner, that would be the play. And then I think I then started toying with the idea of playing with Strand, and I used the Wishkeeper bow, and then that got taken off after one game. I was like, this is not a PvP weapon. This is a PvE weapon that I can, very similar to kind of how I use like TQ's Divination and Le Monarch in PvE activities. From a distance, tangle people, throw out tangles, kill people, more tangles exploding and things like that. I'm thinking, yeah, that's I like my bows for that, and I do like Le Monarch for PvP, but I only kind of exclusively use it on my hunter when I'm kind of doing Le Monarch and hand cannon. So I was like, yeah, we'll do that. And then I thought, at some point I do need to go back onto my Titan, and setup in control. I wanted to kind of use a different kind of setup on control, because I was thinking, if I go into Iron Banner control and I want to kind of, if I capture that point, I want to kind of be the tank that nobody else can get past. So I was thinking, what, apart from kind of keep putting up barricades and things, the only other thing that I could think of is using I think it's is it the chess piece that when you, is it the Hoarfrost Z?
The one that makes extra walls with your barricade?
No, is it that one? I honestly can't remember now.
Yeah, that's the one.
No,
Instead of your barricade, you get
one.
the ice walls.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but then there was the
or
other.
the Arbor Warden where you throw your barricade?
No, I can't remember what it is. Is it? No, it's gauntlets. That's what it was. It's the gauntlets on the Titan, and it's the. You pop a shield. You pop your barricade, but it gives you the overshield, but it slows you down. And I can't remember the name of it.
Icefall Mantles.
It's Icefall Mantles. There you go.
Yeah, the stasis ones that give you replaces your barricade with your personal overshield.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was thinking Icefall Mantles, because no matter what subclass you're on, that will still work. It gives you that overshield for popping your barricade. And I was thinking, if I put that on and like a sweet business or something that's going to be hard hitting, staggering people, and I will just be the tank on there, and maybe like a grenade launcher in my primary slot or secondary slot, just to go with it. But I haven't kind of got there as yet. That's what I've got kind of planned for the next couple of days. A bit of setting up a tank on a control point and just letting the other part of the team go and capture somewhere else. But I kind of be the one that draws all the heat, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Might put a bubble in there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I was playing on the Warlock because, again, I don't know, something about Warlock and PvP is just talking to me right now. So I've been playing a bunch of PvP on the Warlock. I was doing my competitive things on the Warlock, just trying and seeing what felt good. And I was running around trying to be a stasis Warlock, which is fun, but I needed more friends. So for more little ice turrets, because they're fun in Fortress for a while, but like unless you have a team that's kind of going with you or also running stasis, it doesn't quite work. And I mean, but the void buddy, the child of the old gods, he's so good. He's such a good buddy. The number of, if not outright kills, the number of almost kills, weakened people to the point where my teammates were able to get a very easy cleanup, because you just see when people aren't paying attention, 11, 11, 11, just that tick damage. You're like, I'm dead, but you're still going to do that tick damage if you're not paying attention. If you're trying to like disarm a charge or something, just taking those ticks, going, can I get this done before my health goes down the rest of the way? So I was having really good fun with that. Because I've been trying to find a good combination, and ended up I felt like a bad man on the Shayura's Wrath and the Messenger.
Okay.
Of just running with those, because just the Messenger has always felt good, and I know there are better. I think this one has kill clip and rapid hit on it. Like, I know there's better pulse rifles, and I thought for sure I had a vigilance wing in my vault because I had always kept it on the Warlock. Apparently, I deleted it at some point, so I pulled a new one out, and it's like, this feels so good. That five burst.
See, I know that's the issue. That's one of the solutions that Bungie say. You don't need your exotics. You can delete them. You can pull them back out of your thing. But then comes the problem. If you're looking through the vault, going, I know I've got a weapon. Or if you're in Dim, you type up that you want a specific kind of archetype. Dim doesn't say, oh, by the way, you've got this available to you. It just brings up, and if you're not thinking of that exotic weapon, like, oh, I know I've got that, then I can pull it back out of collections. You completely forget about these things, like the Vigilance Wing, which you shouldn't forget about because it's the Vigilance Wing. It's not like it's something that's kind of been lost to time, like the exotic heavy grenade launcher thing that we had for stasis that I can't remember the name of, because I've forgotten about it.
Salvation Script barely exists.
See, exactly.
Legend of Acrius, who would ever?
Oh no, Legend of Acrius I think I've still got on one of my characters, but yeah. Because that sometimes is very good to use.
Yeah, and Salvation's Grip I could only think of because I had watched a video not too long ago using that in a build, and I was like, oh yeah, that weapon that I would not have remembered existed. There's so many. I look in my vault going, what are these 1600 guns that I have? Or levels, light level 1600. Oh, the Grand Overture, that was a thing that existed. Oh yeah, the Heir Apparent. Look at that. Like, there's so many exotics sitting
Yeah.
there going, yeah, no, your things, and I've set you right here. I completed your catalyst if you have it, and now you sit here waiting for your day in the sun maybe one day, taking up my vault space.
Mm.
Why do I have a salvation grip in the vault? Why? In what world?
So you know that auto rifle that you were talking about last week, which is very hard to get? I don't think I've got one to drop as yet. Oh, I have the Ross Argo.
Yeah, the void one that no one can find because it's a world drop and good luck. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've got one with attrition orbs, dynamic sway reduction, tactical mag, fluted barrel, or hammer forged rifling with a stability masterwork. So is that good? I think. Is it?
Does it feel good in your hands? That's how I'm looking at it.
I don't know, to be honest.
If it makes you happy, then go for it.
Well, it's the same archetype as the Gnawing Hunger. So I'm thinking, is it a kind of contender against the Gnawing Hunger? But I don't know.
Past me would have scowled at you for even such a suggestion, but it's been so long. Let's see. Let's look at, because I've got one with, it's not a great roll. It's got dynamic sway reduction and surrounded on it, so like not a superb roll in any means, versus the overflow rampage roll. So it's the same 21 impact. Range is about the same, 48. I mean, range is nearly the same. Stability nearly the same. Way more handling on the Gnawing Hunger. It's 83 versus 62. Slightly higher, slightly better reload than Gnawing Hunger. A little better aim assist, like 3 points higher. Airborne assistance, 8 points higher on the Ross, which I'm not even counting. It's only 47 recoil direction on the Ross that I have, but 84 on the Gnawing Hunger, which I can easily get to 99 with the counterbalance mod. And then the magazine, 55 on the Ross and 48 on the Gnawing Hunger, but with the overflow, that's a moot point. So, like, it's pretty similar stats, like, because the middle stats are like 1 or 2 points higher here and there, and I'm sure that evens out depending on what the role you have.
But it's got more airborne effectiveness as well.
Mm-hmm. I can jump. It feels like, even though it's only a 47 recoil. Thank you. Yeah, like even though it's only 47, it feels really stable. Like when I'm firing it in PvP, it feels like a laser beam.
Yeah. I haven't actually kind of pulled it out to play with it as yet. It was one of those things of like, oh, this is a new world thing. I'm just going to throw it in the vault, which means I've only got one. So it's like,
right.
And only looking at the stats now on Destiny Night Manager, does it kind of compare, Gnawing Hunger kind of wise? But that's for Void. So I don't know what it kind of compares to other 600s across kind of. So what have we got other 600s? We have got not that many, I don't think. Oh, we've got Sorrow's Verse, which is your arc, Summoner, which is your solar. So how does it stack up against them?
Summoner, I see the Summoner every now and again, and I forget about the Summoner. Yeah,
Summoner is very, very nice, isn't it? Sometimes
it's really good. It's Summoner. They need to bring that one back to Ironbanner to Trials again. I have a Rampage overflow of that, but the stickiness on that, like the aim assistance is 67. Like that. Those bullets feel like they chase you around corners. Like I've gotten killed with that weapon that I feel I do not deserve.
Yeah.
That man ran around the corner and the Summoner was like, yeah, I don't care. I'll find you. I'll track you down.
Yeah, I was getting completely murdered this week by the Amets. Amets are still kind of very prevalent in Crucible. Yep. And I was like, I get where you're coming from. And I was at the end of the match, I was kind of looking at what perks they had. And they weren't anything fantastic, which just meant they were doing really well with the perks that they kind of had. I'm like, yeah, I can see now. You got a kill before me, and then I just ran into that one bullet that gave you the extra 20,000%. I was like,
that's the infuriating part. Like, yeah, there were a couple of people that were running the Amet, and I'm going, "What do you have on yours?" And I'm like, "Oh, the exact same roll I have on mine. You're just, you're either better than me, or having a luckier game, whichever it is." But
yeah,
like, why can't I do what you're doing? It's like, well, maybe that's your game. Maybe the next game it'll be me. I ran into someone running Hardlight this week, and I was like, that I was not expecting, but sure, that works.
The thing is, if you can use Hardlight with the bouncing projectiles and get the extra damage on people, it's fantastic. But I'm just so trained to aim for the head or aim for the body and
Yep.
not just run along. I mean, when it first kind of got changed, I used to kind of try and do it, and I was like, yeah, it's a thing. You can run around with like shooting the floor and kind of getting the bounce, but you need to know angles, and there's so many different variables about kind of getting people down. It's like, nah.
Yeah. It's great fun to run in, if you can get a nice indoor map somewhere, which I feel like, few and far between, but if you can get a nice indoor map, it's so much fun just to go, I'm going to bounce these off of walls. You can come this way. You're not going to be happy about it when you get here, though.
No.
It's one of those, I mean, again, 100% situational where you can have a really good game and then the next game just go, well, no, I'm taking this back off because I am getting nowhere near anybody and just destroyed.
I'm just going to have a quick look at this, Ross, and see what available. So we've got Onslaught on there. So that's probably one of the best ones, and Golden Tricorn.
Right. Yeah. I was saying because Cool Guy did the video we talked about last week on it, and like it's got what a big perk. It suffers from having the big perk pool and being a world drop, so nearly impossible to target or farm or anything. But it's got some interesting combinations on. So it's one of those like if you can get a good one, hang on to it. But how do you get a good one? Dumb luck, basically.
So when he was talking about this, did he refer to the Onslaught perk because of it's one of the only ones that can get the only 600 auto rifle that can get Onslaught on it, which means it fires faster than some of the other Onslaught auto rifles, which means it does more. It can kill people a lot quicker. Is that one of the kind of advantages to it? Do you think?
Probably. I'm trying to find his video real quick and where he talked about it. What's the perk does it have the perk that's not overflow, but the other one that extends the magazine that I now can't think of the name of?
Rewind rounds.
Oh, okay. Rewind. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's got permeability too, so it can do the osmosis, but not osmosis.
Yeah. It has, yeah. So it's got repulsor brace if you want to use that, permeability, rewind rounds, subsistence, and then you've got onslaught, under over. Sometimes I don't mind under over. Not really a surrounded weapon, but Golden Tricorn I could see working quite well. Deconstruction, dealing sustained damage, grants bonus damage against vehicles and constructs. PvE maybe, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So his note on the video, permeability and onslaught might be the best role, not only this season, but with how each season's artifact highlights elements, a dream roll on it. He says. So permeability and onslaught wasn't what he was looking at. Now I don't remember if it was PvE or PvP because I've got the video muted, so we don't. So I can hear you and not him. But yeah, that's one of the things he was looking at. But yeah, but it's just so stable. And I mean, I've always loved a good. I love a good stable auto rifle anyway. But there's something about those void auto rifles just good times.
Maybe that's one I'll have. I mean, I can't farm for it, but maybe it's one I kind of go and play with the one that I've got to see if I do enjoy it. And yeah,
but definitely one of those ones where if you do come across it, at least take it for a spin before you send it to the abyss.
Yeah.
Again, since if you do go, oh, I wish I had that. Well, it's gone forever now because you're never getting another one.
Well, hopefully it'd be one of those things that they, and I'm not sure if they'll do this when they reset your Synthweave bounties, which is coming. Is that coming? You said March, was it? Or was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember what we said last week. But
Yeah.
the Synthweave bounties is kind of that mid-season reset. So I don't know whether they'll kind of do a mid-season reset for things like the Lost Sectors and put some of these weapons in the Lost Sectors for you to actually go and farm. So at the moment we've got like the 4 sets with 4 different weapons each day when the kind of rotation comes up that you can get from the well drops, and they include some of the things that were, or some of the weapons that were the weapons for that season. So yeah, that might be interesting if they do that mid-season reset and actually stick some of these weapons in, or we might not get them until the final shape. Who knows?
I'm guessing it'll be the final shape because I feel like they haven't tended to make those changes. But again, with the double, part of me again is going, you've got the double season. You basically have 2 seasons. You could at least do some, do a pool refresh.
Yeah.
To keep, to keep people interested, but also, is that a thing that you're going to do, or just say it's 1 season and we don't do this in a season, or the tooling we have to do that isn't compatible with, again, this being a very old, very large game. is it easy as just saying, oh, cut out this list of weapons, put in this list, or is it a whole thing to get those going? Which, who knows?
So yeah. So you didn't play any Iron Banner this week then, Respawn?
Didn't know was the thing. No.
All you knew was PalWorld. PalWorld, that's it.
You keep bringing it up.
Well, that's because everyone and their brother is bringing it up. I'm a little disappointed. There didn't seem to be any little puppy or kitten or any sort of fun creature hidden in the TWAB at the end this week.
Oh.
Maybe it was hidden elsewhere and I just missed it, but a little disappointed.
Just the one hyperlink letter. You're missing that one letter somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Peroty.
It's a fun scavenger hunt that I like. I like to scavenge every week. And this week, the internet version of Bungie, apparently they turned back on the togetherness modifier sometime earlier in the week. I think after the update went live, and then on the 25th Thursday removed that they've turned it back off again. So if you saw togetherness modifier in the coil, you shouldn't anymore. It's now been re-disabled. It decided to come back just for a limited time engagement.
I see. Also, Night Demon.
That was really all they had to say.
Sorry about that. I thought you were done talking.
Nope.
Night Demon. You have complaints in the chat about how people wait for you to jump on Iron Banner, and you have been severely lacking with your fan support there, homeboy. What's going on?
Who's complaining?
If Respawn would have been here on time,
Noble,
then he would have known that Night Demon and I have both played very little this week because it's been very long weeks and he's been walking back and forth to deal with car issues.
Yeah. I'm not complaining. They are. I just didn't know why.
Because you weren't here when we talked about it. That's what I'm saying. If you would have been here, then you would have known why. And so would they.
Oh, well.
Because you are the conduit in which they get their information.
Ooh, I'm your conduit? I am so sorry I failed you guys.
The Vex aren't happy about it either.
I don't think we have any Respawn report roundup.
I didn't see anything.
I haven't got any videos this week because, as kind of discussed at the opening of the show.
Sorry.
No. Let me clarify. It's all PalWorld, which I do not endorse. These two may endorse it, but I don't endorse it. So my Destiny content.
Oh no! Do not slander me, sir. I did not endorse anything.
My Destiny content creators.
Sir.
My Destiny content creators that I follow just have all turned to PalWorld. So I'm sorry. I've got no videos that I've been able to watch this week which do not include PalWorld.
Look, just because they've betrayed you, don't put that on me. You brought up PalWorld. I came in.
I'm not putting it on you.
Not talking
I'm saying that you two support playing it. I don't.
Did I say I support it? Did anybody in here tell me that I support it? Or did I say I support it? No, I did not.
I'm pretty sure it's a tacit support by the fact that you're just playing it.
Yes, but I did not actively support it. I did not say, "Hey, I support you guys playing it." All I'm saying was,
yes, you're saying who made a server, so you're supporting it. We're all supporting it.
No, I'm saying I want to join a server if anybody's got one.
PalWorld's wonderful, and we'll all play it, then we'll get burned out on it, and then we'll come back to Destiny, because that's how it works.
Tell me some other wonderful things, Peroty. Tell me some other wonderful things. Tell me about those wonderful people.
People are going to get burned out? Is that what you're saying is wonderful?
People, there are... Yeah, people on PalWorld, yes, absolutely. Like you said, you finished the game. It's been out, what, a week? There were a couple of videos...
I didn't say I finished. I said I beat the game. I didn't say I finished the game.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Potato, tomato. I was just looking for... You guys will appreciate this, as it is both Destiny related and not quite Destiny related. Cheese Forever managed to cheese the Game to Give donation page.
Okay, so he donated more than he was supposed to?
He was able to collect the $1,000 incentive for donating just $1 due to poor. Now I don't know if he actually. I'm sure he reported this, and I think in this video says they've already fixed it by the time he made this video. But basically through and he tells you exactly how it was done now that it's been fixed. But yeah, basically they hid the other dollar amount. If you choose one of the other boxes, and you can just go into your browser and unhide it and go, oh look, I can give you $1 and now get all the top rewards for this. So Cheese Forever is out here nerfing or cheesing real world things, not just Destiny things.
It's still digital though. Is it really real world? Now, if he could hack, like, I don't know, or if he could cheese, it's gravity,
world,
then guys, Cheese Forever is learning how to fly.
It's real world enough. That's all we really need. I mean, he's probably working on it. there are a couple people that have been sort of working in this vein of, again, since this is, with the end of, the seasonal content and seasonal changes of Destiny, people sort of turn their sights to, well, we're going to need to start building things that are going to kind of last forever, because it's not really going to be, whatever the seasonal artifact is, that's what we're all going to build with. So TDT, the Dream Team, has a Destiny 2 build designed to never be nerfed for the Warlocks with our Verity Brow. So just talking about, here's the thing where you can sort of, set up this build and it's sort of going to be, again, unless they change the weaponry around or change how like the perks in the game work, it's not reliant on any particular seasonal artifact or seasonal perk. So just sort of a set it and forget it. Hey, this will get you through the long haul, and just sort of thinking in that regard of, instead of, here's the new hotness for this season, what we have to build into, it's let's build something that's going to last. And then I saw Danfinity is back with an interview with Chris Freed, who's the man behind Guardian Theater and Secret Scrubland. That's the heat map that tells you how many hours you've thrown into this game, and SRL2, which I said SRL2 I had not heard of. So I said, let me go listen to this and see what it is. So he has made as his website says, it's at d2srl.club. SRL1 is dead. Long live SRL2. SRL1 is, of course, Sparrow Racing League, and SRL2 is Synchronized Random Loadouts.
Oh my god, you played me!
Synchronized Random Loadouts. So he's like, I built this page for like the 10 people who want to use it. And it's essentially, he's like, you can go into DIM and grab a random loadout and go do an activity, but this will allow you to go in, grab a random loadout and apply it for your entire fire team. So you can all be running the same stupid build or the same silly thing all at one time.
Couldn't you do that before though? You just have to coordinate. But this just does it for you?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You can, and you'd have to make sure that everybody, like before, he's like, you could go to DIM, you could export your vault, you could get the list, and then make sure everybody had the same thing. This, I guess, we'll sync your vaults together and say who which things do you all have, and thus you can all run together, and give you that loadout to run. And then I was reminded that Guardian Theater existed, which, if you're not familiar with Guardian Theater, you can go to and put in your Bungie login, Xbox login, Twitch login, whatever, and it will basically look through your gameplay footage, your post-game carnage reports, and see if anybody's made clips or if you were included on Twitch streams. And it's just a wonderful site, and it's great fun to pull up and see who's been running what, who's been playing with what. So I found somebody not from this Iron Banner, but from the last Iron Banner, where Panoramics 18 and I were running around as identical pink Titans with sweet businesses with blue screen, and made a couple of clips of just people enjoying the sweet business. So that was good fun. But it was a good interview with Chris Freed, because he's a guy just, one of the many developers making stuff for this game who I don't think I'd ever heard or seen. He's like, I gave an interview back like a million years ago, back in, I can't remember the Destiny shows he was on because they are no longer around. So it's been a minute. But
what do you mean? We'll start here. We are still here.
Planet Destiny had Danfinity on, didn't it?
Well, no, it wasn't Danfinity. It was Chris Freed, the developer.
Oh, sorry.
Because Danfinity's been on a number of things, up to and including, I think, Guardian Down had him on, or Guardian, one of our other brother shows, and maybe both of them at this point. Danfinity's been making the rounds, but I think like Distinguished Gentleman of Destiny or whatever it was, or there's another one that's, I can't think of the name of it right now. Anyway, it was an interesting interview. It's about 30 minutes, so it's good fun. But yeah, everybody else is playing PalWorld this week. That's it. But you know who may or may not be playing PalWorld? Our lovely patrons.
They're definitely not, because they support playing Destiny.
Oh, I can tell you.
No, don't throw them under the bus. Do not throw them under the bus.
Are we sure that the Zep Orbit who can't be thrown with a good time
is embracing this, man? She loves it.
Are we sure the Zep Orbit who can't be thrown with a good time is not playing PalWorld? Are we positive? Yeah, maybe the Outer Dance Strip of the T-Rex King, the Scarlet Cam, BHS Nightcrawler, Mellow Mally, and Dead Halo M64. Are we sure they're not playing PalWorld? Because Scarlet Cam did come in to clarify this week, and he said, Peroty, listen, we're not actually dancing. It's more dodging because of those grenades the others were throwing at us.
True.
So Carver 2782, Golden God 1562, Noble, Basically Salt, Zombie Pops for Narcolant, Fire Squad 1688, and Coderson 105. They throw so many grenades. So whether it's dancing or dodging, keep doing it. It's working for us. And of course, our Deacons Day 1 raid team, or maybe this should be the PalWorld Squad. I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a better name for this. Of Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, and PP Pipe. I know at least a third of them are playing PalWorld.
Indeed, yep.
So thank you for all of our wonderful patrons that we will one day give you patron things. Or if not, we'll just continue to tell you how much we like you. And yeah, that'll be our relationship.
Who's got
You
stickers?
love us. Yeah, you love us. We love you. And yeah, it'll all be good. So if you'd like to be a lovely human being, patreon.com/TTH. And you can also dodge grenades or build a PalWorld base that you then accidentally take some stairs out and destroy the whole thing on your face. It's up to you.
How'd you know about that?
Because I've seen a number of clips from people online having that happen to them this week.
Yeah. So when you're encumbered, there's a grappling gun you can use to traverse because you can't move, but the grappling gun can drag you around, right? So I thought I had the grappling gun out, and I did not.
I'm not even talking about the fact that you've done it. I've seen a couple clips this week of people building bases so high it becomes night before they can fly to the top of it.
No.
And then you accidentally remove a thing and it all falls down. So yeah, physics are a thing. You know what's also a thing?
What?
Ending the show until next week.
What?
So thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Team, and your hunter is no one response in real life, who was out to breakfast this morning and dilly-dally said that's why you didn't get the full experience. But you know where you can find that though. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or just go to twotitansandahunter.com where you can find all the links in the show, all the things we talk about, and all the ways to find or watch this lovely show. You should email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can follow us. Really, just go to twotitansandahunter.com, get the links, go to YouTube, hit the buttons, hit the follows. That will tell you of everything going on, all the videos coming out, all the things you should buy, all the things to the best of our knowledge that are happening next week, with a massive disclaimer of Bungie does what Bungie's going to do, so no one really knows. And if you want to join our Otter Dance Troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, or build the tallest PalWorld base in all the land, patreon.com/TTH. If you want to toss us a coffee, ko-fi.com/twotitansandahunter. And if you want the thrill of live action, spicy language, and PalWorld, head over to twitch.tv/no-one-responds-in-real-life. And if you want to bully the proper English gentleman into playing Iron Banner, twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter. Go there, hit the buttons, hit the bells, and you will know when they go live. And we will be live next week in your podcast player of choice. And Apple Podcasts has apparently added transcripts to the podcast that it automatically generates. So that should be an exciting experience to try to figure out what it does with all the things we talk about in Destiny.
Indeed.
So until next week, say goodbye, everybody.
Ta-ra.
Goodbye, everybody.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.